Hi everyone, Tony from Hack the Movies here. And Jeepers Creepers, what a franchise. There are now 4 films, and today we're going to talk about them and figure out which one is the worst. I wonder which one it could be. I sure hope there's no real obvious answer. Please keep watching the episode. Today on Hack the Movies.
It's time to Hack the Movies.
Can you cue the Mariah Carey, "It's time"?
Hello, Casey.
Hi, Tony.
So good to have you back.
Oh, thank you. It's so good to be back.
I know.
This one.
Hello, Joey.
Tony from Hack the Movies. Happy to be here in the studio, baby.
Official Joey C. I have to say official Joey C now, because you know
It's
my
true.
good friend Carl from Who Are These Podcasts?
Yes?
He's been feuding with one of Stutter and John's fans who goes by the name Joey C.
Yes. There's only one. and that's
Yes,
the
you're
official
actually
one.
funny and,
I
and
appreciate
entertaining.
that. Thank you.
This
Thank
other
you.
Joey C sucks.
He's a fraud.
He's a fraud.
He's canceled.
He's doing videos with Stuttering John, so that tells you everything you need to know. But it's been tripping me up because Carl's just like, and Joey C sucks. I'm like, my Joey C?
I never even heard of the other guy.
You
offense.
people have.
Yeah, he's not official.
Not if this is you.
Exactly. Yes.
Anyway, first off, great shirt, Joe.
Oh, thank you.
Great
Like that?
shirt,
Look at
Joe.
that.
My
I
mom has that shirt.
Your mom does have that shirt. Yes, for the audio listeners, Joey C is wearing a Tony Peak shirt that you can get on our store at the RetroWear store, or go to hackthemovies.com, click store, it'll take you right there. The stickers are now available. We have bumper stickers and sticker packs. Anyway, Jeepers Creepers. Now, this was a series of films that I only saw the first 2 entries, like most people have.
You could say that.
I'll share my story with it, but I think you two might actually really like this series more than me. Let's go down the line. Joey, tell me about the first Jeepers Creepers. When did you see this movie?
Well, the first one I saw way back in 4th grade, if you
Ooh.
can believe it or not, and it scarred me. And my friend said, "Boy, let's watch a horror movie." And I thought, yeah, sure, my mom's out of town. We can do this. So we rented Nightmare on Elm Street 2 and Jeepers Creepers 2. And boy, I didn't sleep for weeks.
So you saw the second one first?
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
second one first. I didn't see the first one until years after, actually.
How
We're
about
gonna-
Nightmare?
Nightmare, I watched that one before I watched Jeepers Creepers. But Jeepers Creepers 2 really scared me. I had to move my bed. Well, my dad had to move my bed away from my window because I was afraid of a demon coming through the window and snatching my little body up and taking me away.
But you must have liked it enough to go back and watch the first one.
Of course. Years after therapy and trauma responses and all that
We're
fun
gonna-
stuff.
Wow.
We're going to circle back to your rental decisions that night and how they might have affected you when we get to the Jeepers Creepers 2 segment, because you revealed that bombshell to me on our commentary track for Nightmare on Elm Street 2, which is available on Patreon. Casey, when did you discover the Jeepers Creepers franchise?
I definitely think mine was in middle school.
Okay.
And I do think it's that movie where you are like, ooh, yeah, like this is a good one to watch.
Yeah.
Good, like starting to horror films. But we had at the beach house in Manasquan, New Jersey, we had channels like FearNet and Chiller TV,
Okay.
which I heard was like actually a big thing with beach houses. Like the other homes had these special channels.
Yeah.
And I remember on one of those channels, it said, coming up next, Jeepers Creepers. And then, of course, after it, Jeepers Creepers 2. And I'm like, you know what? This is going to be it. I'm going to watch this by myself. This is going to be the first horror movie I watch by myself.
Oh.
And it's still one of the best memories I have.
Yeah, so
it's
you
my
wa-
all-time favorite horror movie.
You watched both of them back to back.
I did.
Whoa. That was
Yeah.
a fun night.
It was.
I remember it was 2001 when this came out. I forget what movie I was seeing, but I remember this Jeepers Creepers had a really good trailer. And I remember like me and my mom and I think my grandfather like saw the trailer. We're like, that movie looks awesome.
So before it came out,
Before it came out.
2001.
Yes.
How old were
I might have been, depending on what month it was, 10 or 11.
Okay.
So yeah, I saw the trailer. I'm like, that looks cool.
Jeepers Creepers.
Didn't get to see it in the theaters, but I heard good things. And then finally we rented it. And I was like, oh, this movie's awesome. It was very engaging. It kept me on the edge of my seat. There's a moment where some people were critical of and a lot of people check out. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty, well, I guess not to you guys, but to other people, it's pretty obvious when there's a moment where people go, okay, that's too far. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. And of course, I got the I didn't see either of these in theaters as much as I like them.
Yeah.
I got the second one, okay, from Circuit City.
Nice.
And the DVD just stopped working midway through. So we had to go back to Circuit City with the receipt and get a new Jeepers Creepers too. And luckily this one worked. Still
And
works
Circuit City was like first Best Buy. No?
Yeah, it was around the same time.
Okay.
It didn't last. Best Buy last. It's funny when I think it's still in Northeast Philly, the one I used to go to. There are some stores that you could tell were Circuit Cities.
That's so
Oh
funny.
yeah, same thing in
Yeah.
New York. Yeah,
Yeah.
they still have like
awesome.
the shape of like the sign and everything.
Yeah, because it kind of looked like a plug. Because remember the commercials? It was like a plug goes around,
Yeah.
and they still have that storefront, but it's shaped like a plug. But then like today, it's like something else.
it's like a fabric store.
Can't say I've ever been to a Circuit City.
That's like around here we have a chain called Wawa. But now they're all turning into super Wawas. And it's fun when you see an old Wawa that's now like a produce place. You're like, that
Yeah.
used to be a Wawa, I can tell. Anyway.
Okay.
So Jeepers Creepers. Really like these. Watched them a lot as a kid. Now, we have to address the Cuties fan in the room. Let's just get it out of the way.
What?
The Cuties fan in the room. We don't say the P word on this channel. Let's just...
What?
Yeah.
Cuties. I don't
Cuties.
even.
How do you not know that running gag on this show?
No idea.
Okay.
I'm a fan, I swear.
Okay. Because you
Okay.
got to do this every time you talk about Jeepers Creepers. Let's just get it done.
Okay, you're right.
Victor Salva did some horrible things on the set of the movie Clown House. And then for some reason he filmed it, which, by the way, speaking of my friend Carl, he does that Creep Off podcast, which Jess is on.
Mm-hmm.
Criminals love filming their shit.
Yeah,
All
they
types of
do.
criminals. They all like filming. Anyway, yes, it was horrible. It was disgusting. Probably shouldn't have been allowed back in Hollywood, but Francis Ford Coppola gave him a chance anyway. Just wanted to let you know that we know before the comment section blows up, but we're going to separate the art from the artist and just talk about the movies, okay? Jeepers Creepers is about an old monster that wants a young boy's body.
Shit.
So I did get this from my local Hollywood video when they were going out of business and they had them for sale. So
I did that with
prized possession.
Blockbuster. I have a lot of DVDs that have the Blockbuster sticker
I
on them.
even took the racks. Like they were selling the
Oh,
racks.
that's cool.
So I
Yeah.
bought those too.
That's cool.
You want me to read all this?
Yeah.
Okay. You can keep your doors locked. That's just the first sentence. You can keep your eyes closed. But still, he'll get what he wants. And what he wants is you.
Wait. That. So out there somewhere out there, someone's like, the creeper's after me. Let me lock my door and close my eye. Like, okay, all right, good luck, buddy. Anyway,
Can't say I've ever read this. Wow. Brace yourself for 90 minutes of steadily mounting horror that delivers more than its share of honest chills.
Ooh.
From the scariest opening sequence of any horror picture in recent memory to one of the gutsiest endings to a film this year. Jeepers Creepers is the real deal in terror. I guess that was just a review. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
That's nice. That's nice.
For these best and worst, we usually just read the back of the box to sum up
Okay.
the plot because
So
we don't have time.
do you want me to read the rest?
Yeah, read
All right,
the
why
rest.
not? On a desolate country highway, two homeward bound teens are nearly run off the road by a maniac in a beat up truck and later spot him shoving what appears to be a body down a sewer pipe. But when they stop to investigate, they discover that the grisly reality at the bottom of that pipe is far worse than they could have ever suspected, and that they are now the targets of an evil far more unspeakable and unstoppable than they could have ever imagined.
Yes.
Wow. I'm getting chills.
Yeah, this first one, I guess you have a unique perspective because you already knew what the twist with the creeper and everything since you watched them out of order.
It's true. But I was also so young, it didn't fucking matter anyways.
But yeah, this first one, I remember that intro is pretty good because it is a good, it just opens up pretty calmly with the brother and sister, and to the writing's credit,
Oh,
they
it is tight.
they feel like brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
I
for
have
sure.
a sister. We watch this movie together. Being annoying in car rides, that is like spot on.
Yeah, for
It-
sure.
Yeah, it really sets the tone of the adventure we're about to
Yeah.
go on.
And even being older now watching it, I had a more of appreciation for the whole brother-sister relationship in this.
Oh, and did you know that Victor Salva decided to make them both brother and sister, so there was no sexual tension?
Yes. Thank God. That would have been weird.
That would have been so weird.
Don't worry. There's plenty of sexual...
Is that the fact?
Don't worry. There's plenty of sexual tension in these franchises. This franchise. Usually between the creepy monster. But yeah, it starts off pretty funny. They're playing a road game where they're reading the license plates. And I remember me and my sister used to do stuff like that. We did the punch buggy thing.
Yeah.
We got real into punching each other though, because we were not good at car rides. We were like, it got to a point where it's like, I don't know, it looks like a Volkswagen. Boom.
Yeah.
But yeah, that opening is pretty creepy where the truck just comes up right behind them.
Right.
And starts blaring the horn. That's pretty cool. It is really creepy when they drive past the church and you see him throwing the body and he stares at them. Apparently that part is based on a true story.
Right.
Which I didn't look into too much. Do you guys know?
Yeah.
it? Okay.
It goes way deeper than that. too.
Okay, tell me.
That true story, they made like an Unsolved Mysteries episode about it or something, and Victor Salva literally like ripped off shot for shot of this episode of like Unsolved Mysteries. I don't know if that was the actual show that they used, but
Holy
there's a whole video on it on YouTube where shot for shot, it's like the same thing.
You know
for
what's
like
funny?
the first 20
Original.
minutes.
That plays into a joke for part 4.
Yes,
Oh,
exactly.
yes, it does.
But
Yeah,
keep going,
it
keep
does.
going. Yeah, I don't know the full story. Like, I just saw witnesses, and I guess he chased them down. I don't know what happened at
That's
the end of
scary as hell.
And he had what appeared to be a bloody sheet.
it. That is pretty scary.
Oh my
That is pretty
God,
scary.
yeah.
But remember the part, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go.
Remember there's a car that's also there, and they read that's license plate, and it's
Oh,
either like
he thinks
gay
it's
forever
gay
or something.
Oh,
fever.
yeah.
But why does that car go off the side of the road? That's what I really
I
wanna
thought it was
know.
just turning onto another
It's
road.
in the field.
Oh
goes
yeah,
into
it
the
just
field.
it's right into the field. That's funny because I never thought about that.
I
thought-
always
yeah.
think about it every time.
I thought it just turned into a road that was like...
It's
No.
like legit a field. It is
Oh.
weird.
Oh, that is weird.
and then the truck comes up behind
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Like, were they just getting out of the creeper's way?
Yeah, did the creeper also like freak them out?
But yeah, that's
Um,
it. Can you
I-
put it in the comments below, please?
Yeah, let us know.
I want to know.
I did like that he thought the license plate was gay fever.
Yeah.
He's like, that's sexy
Gay fever.
forever.
Gay
Oh yeah,
forever.
sexy forever.
Yeah, so the creeper stuff is pretty good. And again, when you first watch this movie, it just seems like a creepy guy stalking them for most of the movie. I'm going to put my phone down until we get to 3 and 4 when I need it again, because it just vibrated. And this is intense. A lot of the movie is really intense. It is fast moving, like the back of the box said. I like when he goes into the cave and all the creepy bodies strung up.
Oh, and how it's revealed.
Yeah. Oh,
That is beautifully done.
there is
Sorry.
great camera work in this.
Big time.
Him falling into the pit is a cool shot where it's like slow motion.
Slow-mo,
Yeah.
But you're right. When he's tying it, what is it? He's tying his
His
shoe.
shoe, the flashlight.
And the flashlight is like slowly revealing. It is a fun, very well done movie. It's very creative. Yeah, and then, we learn more about this person pursuing them throughout the film. There's a psychic that comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, warns them about the song,
Yes.
the Jeepers Creepers song. What did you want to say?
Did the bodies? So the bodies on the wall, they kind of look fake, right? Were they supposed to?
Yeah, he mentions
yeah.
that he did something to preserve them.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they show that there's a couple. Remember they talk about on the road that there was a couple.
Yeah.
With the story.
The prom,
The
like
prom
the night
date.
of prom.
So was that night of the prom? Was it the 23 years before?
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
was.
Yeah. I
Okay.
think that's what I got. I got the vibe of that.
Okay.
Yeah, because that guy comes back in the third one.
I don't know though. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Because-
think
I
it's...
do
We're gonna
know.
get there.
I do know, but
Because
we'll
I got
get
a lot
there.
of questions about 3. But that's the prequel I'm dying to see.
Yes.
But that was very scary to see that.
Interquel.
Yes.
It's an interquel. I know, it's very confusing. Yeah, so the pit is pretty cool.
How he gets out, I don't know.
It leads into the church. There is one funny sequence though where their name is Derry and Trish.
Yeah.
I've heard the name
Trisha.
Trish obviously multiple times. I don't think I've ever heard anyone named like Derry.
That is
I don't think it's his real name in the movie.
actually that's a good point. I never thought about that.
Like Maine.
Yeah.
Dairy
That
Maine.
is kind of a
Yeah.
goofy name.
There is a weird sequence though. It's very creative camera trick where she's like standing guard outside the church.
Oh yeah.
And then the truck is coming out and she thinks it's the creeper's truck, which actually looks really cool. And she's like, oh no. And then she gets behind the thing, but then the camera focuses and it's just a regular truck.
It's like a farm truck. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that was a cool thing. But then I thought about it realistically. I'm like, well, no, her in real life would be able to tell that it wasn't the truck. I get it's a
her
camera
eyes
trick,
would have been focused.
but it was funny when I was thinking about it. I'm like, no, her eyes, like, it's one of those moments where like reality seeped in my brain. I'm like, wait, that doesn't seem to make any goddamn sense.
Her eyes are only focused when the camera's in focus. Tony. That's how
I guess
film works.
so.
Yeah. Her POV.
What is she, nearsighted or something?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the movie eventually starts to evolve because it's like, okay, wait, what's this creeper's deal? Because now he's smelling dirty laundry and he likes it.
Yeah, that's another thing. She puts the air freshener in
A lot of
Derry's-
setup and payoff.
Okay.
A lot of setup and payoff in
But
this.
does he like that smell?
See, he likes fear, but why is he smelling my man's like underwear?
I don't
Like-
think they established the fear part in this movie. I think he just smelled people to see
Oh
if he
yeah,
liked
that
something.
might not have been explained in the first one.
Yeah. No, he doesn't like the air freshener. He's just smelling the guy's clothes to see if it's
Okay.
right for him.
Because like he didn't smell it until the air freshener was in there.
Also,
That's a good point.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
dissecting it. I love it. I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. Good point. I do like that they were talking to the cops and we're supposed to assume that everyone in the diner was just watching this guy sniffing underwear the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And when you know what the creeper looks like, I kind of want to see a scene of him just being like, yeah. So the psychic shows up and lets them know about the song, and then of course that
they
leads
call?
and the house full of cats.
Right. Who is
Yeah.
that actress? What is she in?
I
Oh,
have
is she
no
in,
idea.
I forgot to write it down.
She's not in One Flew. No, that's not her. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's
No, it
Nest.
actually might be. Hold on.
What is under there? Oh my God.
My phone. Hold on. Pause.
I didn't know
Pause.
what that was.
Encyclopedia film.
I love that.
No, she was not in One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. The cat lady is actually Mrs. Peacock from the Clue movie.
Oh.
Whoa.
Which, by the way, the Mrs. White, or no, the maid from the Clue movie has shown up in like 2 reviews that I've done recently. I really need to revisit the Clue movie
Yeah,
at some
that's
point.
a great
It's a good movie. It's a
Yeah,
good movie.
Love that one.
They do get confronted by the creeper, who attacks the cops that are escorting them.
Which is so cool because
Yeah.
they're fighting over the song, and in the background you see
pulls out
him
the-
Yeah.
go up
the
on.
thing.
Oh,
Yeah, he jumps up on the car, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, when you first watch this, you're like, "How'd he get up there? Was there a bridge? I didn't see anything. How did he get up on that car? He's like a little ninja, isn't he?" Yeah. So this is when you start to figure out, like, oh, this isn't just a guy. This is something else. He decapitates the cop and then throws the head on the car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Causes a big accident. But yeah, then he bites the tongue out of the car.
Which makes so much sense now because there's a deleted scene where the creeper talks.
oh, there is.
Really?
That's why he takes the tongue out so he can talk.
That's amazing.
Whoa.
I'm sorry. When does he talk?
At the cat lady.
Okay.
What does he say? Do you
I
know?
don't even remember, but
That
I remember
isn't-
watching
That
it.
is a fact on the
Yeah.
IMDb.
What's the sign that's behind him? Because it's also pretty clever.
It's like darn looking good.
Yeah,
something
yeah,
like
it's a
that,
Tastes
finger
so
licking-
darn.
yeah.
Oh, it's tastes so darn good. I
Yeah.
think.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like this is a horror movie, but there's enough comedic stuff in there to keep it kind of light. But yeah, I remember watching that where he's like making out with the cop head, like pulling the tongue out.
Yeah, and the swallowing noises. Ugh.
Oh, it's so
That's where I
disgusting.
would have checked out.
And shout out to the creeper. It's Jonathan Breck, I think
Yep.
is
Yes.
his name. He does a good job with this character.
Oh, he's
Very good.
He does it really, really
awesome.
well. He doesn't have lines other than that deleted scene.
Yeah, I
Deleted
guess
mentioned.
so.
Yeah.
But this is like a rare case of like a Freddy Krueger where they're not wearing a mask, so they get to like show a little bit of personality.
Have you seen his audition?
No.
No, I
What did he
haven't
do
either.
during the
You
audition?
gotta
Whoa.
see his audition. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. Well, explain it.
His audition. So he's not. I watched an interview with him, and he's not even a fan of horror movies. So he
Yeah.
didn't really do any research like with different monsters to get inspiration from them. He just looked up different animals and stuff. And of course, he was given the script and is like, the creeper doesn't have any lines. So what am I supposed to do? They told him you just have to enter the room as the character. He went up to the casting director and like completely like engulfed his head with his hands and like sniffed him just like this. And it's like, I was just like, that's not Victor Salvo right that he's doing that too. It's awesome. You gotta watch it.
Sometimes
That's-
that
wow.
helps to not be a fan of something because then you can go in fresh and bring something new to that genre. But yeah, then we get to the cat lady's house with the scarecrow scene, which they upped in the second film because they knew how good it was.
That's not my skin.
Not my scarecrow. I love that at first she's just like, are you gonna come take my cats away? And they're like, no, someone just got murdered. She's like, oh shit, okay. But I love that she's like, okay, you can call the cops, but meet them over there. I don't want them near my cats.
Yeah.
She's got her priorities right, as far as I'm concerned.
The creeper, actually, there's a moment where the creeper looks like he's about to talk when he kills her.
It was when he's like holding her body and walking towards
Yeah,
the door.
yeah, which
That's
is
when he
also a
talks.
good creepy shot where you
Yeah.
think she's walking and he's just
is
like
also good.
puppeteering.
She don't smell too good.
This scene is the one I was telling you guys about. Everyone I know was on board with the movie, and they all kind of jump off here, or most of them jump off here. So they like that she decides to run over the creeper and back up and reverse and keep running over him, which is a funny gag.
Yeah.
It was done in the movie Monster Man. You ever see Monster Man?
Yeah, dude. It's
Mon-
also, yeah, that's right.
From the director of Shoot 'Em Up.
Yeah.
There's a movie called Monster Man.
Nice.
At the end, spoiler for the end of the movie.
Okay.
They take his monster truck and they just run over him, but they keep running over him all night long
Nonstop.
until he's just a puddle. And then as he drives away, the puddle starts bubbling like he's still alive.
I gotta put on my list.
Jeepers Creepers didn't go that far.
No.
But it was satisfying because they know this is like in the Scream era where we're like dissecting and rethinking horror movies.
Right.
So a lot of people liked it. I think most people realize like, okay, he's a monster. That's fine. But then the Batwing pops out. And I know a lot of people at the time were like, nah.
That's wild to me. That made it way scarier for me.
It did. I mean, it's the CGI wing is a little dated now.
Yeah, but
at the time, I remember being like, he's got a Batwing? What the hell?
fly, I'm not safe anywhere.
Yes.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, dude, I can't. There's nowhere I could go where he couldn't get to me.
And you know what? It really made me happy because Francis Ford Coppola produced this.
Yep.
And he had that amazing bat monster in Dracula, but we never got to see its
Right.
wings. It was always like curled up. So I bet you he's like, you know what? My biggest mistake with that movie was not showing its bat wings, so we got to show it now.
Perfect.
And it's cool. It's got like the leathery membrane.
cool.
You can see the veins in it.
It only came to my attention recently that he's also compared to like a demon or a
Yeah.
gargoyle, which I never even thought of it that way, that he's possibly that.
Yes, apparently the reason that like one of the later movies was greenlit is because like they did like a limited comic book
Yeah, they
series a
did.
few years
Yeah.
back, and it did really well. Apparently, it goes into like the ancient
origin,
Aztecs thought he
yeah.
was a god or something.
Wow.
Which is actually shown in, I think, the second one. There's
Okay.
like, I think it's on the dagger.
Oh,
where it
okay.
shows the creeper like
Yeah.
above like the pyramids or whatever.
Yeah,
Or
and
whatever the photo
I
is.
do like that he's also an artist. After he kills people for their parts, but then he's also an artist.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna make a nice little thing. He also burns his evidence
Of course.
because
yes,
they
he
make sure to
does.
say like, hey, that church is on fire. But yeah, a lot of people when the wing shows up and they realize how much of a monster he is, I know people like check out at that point.
how much of a monster he
That
Yeah.
is
is.
so cool.
I
That's
didn't
where they
realize.
draw the line.
I didn't realize he was a monster until they kind of showed his face during that
Okay.
cop scene. I just thought he was like a dark skinned
Yeah,
guy, to
that's
be honest,
interesting.
from far away.
I mean, I obviously saw the second one first, so I knew it was a monster
Yeah.
from the start. So that's real. I want to rewatch it now, knowing that people didn't know that
Yeah.
this was like a demon or whatever.
Put it on
until-
for someone who's never heard of the movie.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's wild.
that's
Be like,
so
hey, I
fun.
want to show you this movie, Jeepers Creepers. I don't want to tell you anything about it. And then they go, who directed it? And you go, no,
Yeah.
just put it on.
I don't even think they would know that, to be honest.
No, they wouldn't.
Don't worry about it. No one. Alan Smithy, the fake name directors used to use.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of people don't like the whole bat thing. However, this next scene, the attack on the police station, which is something you don't. Again, this movie does like subvert a lot of stuff. One, I like how most of the movie's on the road.
right?
Yeah.
Road
It's-
trip movie.
Yes, until this section here where they're finally like in like a
Like an
structure
area,
or whatever.
yeah.
Yeah. But a lot of times, the monster would get away or something, or that would be it. But like the monster literally goes to where all the police are, who usually show up at the end of a lot of these movies,
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh, that's not stopping me."
Yeah. This was one of my favorite parts in the movie because all of the inmates gather together and huddle next to each other while one of them is being eaten alive.
That scene is
and it kind of
wild.
showed like companionship between the inmates and the police officer,
Yeah.
which I really enjoyed. Like
Yeah.
that gave me a different sense of, I don't know,
Like
feeling for the movie.
Well, one, you don't expect him to get up from that running, but yeah, you don't expect
Yeah.
him. I do like before that when he's just limping because he's lost a
Oh
leg.
yeah. yeah.
But you're right. That is such a good reveal where it's like the inmates waking up and then there's just the two that
Oh,
are
and you see
scared
like his
shitless.
wing and everything.
Yeah.
Fun fact, you
And
can
then-
actually see the zipper of the costume.
No,
Oh,
really?
Look closer.
Yeah. It once you see it, it's so clear. It's
God,
wild.
that's like the fishing line in Jurassic Park with the
Oh,
spitter.
that's exactly
As
it,
soon as
yeah.
that was pointed out to me, you always see the fishing
You
line pulling
cannot
up its
unsee
frill.
it.
I'm like, I can't not see it now.
Wow, I'm gonna look for it.
Yeah, so this next scene of the cops attacking the police station, there was some controversy with this.
Okay.
So last year I reviewed Darkness Falls.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen Darkness Falls?
No,
Oh, okay.
sorry.
That's okay. I assume you watched my review many times. So that movie famously was reshot over and over again, rewritten. I actually have the action figure for the unreleased design. They made the action figure before the movie got reshot. So that's an action figure for a monster that's not even in the movie.
Wow.
With the wrong title because they changed the title too. So I had to listen to the director's commentary and the writer's commentary for that episode because I wanted to know about everything they changed.
Yeah.
And in that commentary track, they get a little salty because I think their movie came out after Jeepers Creepers, but it was in production first, I think. And they were a little salty that they never say Jeepers Creepers. They won't even say the name, but they were mad that that movie also had a police station attack with the monster. Because in Darkness Falls, the ghost lady goes to the police station, takes out a bunch of cops.
That's wild.
Yeah, and they kept saying, like, I know it's similar to that other movie. I'm like, oh, you won't even say it's Jeepers. I know
Good for
exactly.
them.
And the funny thing is, I had not watched Jeepers Creepers until like this week for
Yeah.
years.
That's wild.
Must have made it so good though.
Yes. But when I was watching Darkness Falls, it was funny because when they said that, I knew it was Jeepers
Yeah.
Creepers. That's how memorable this movie is.
Right,
Like,
it's a
I know
good
what
set
movie they're
piece.
talking
Yeah.
about. You find out that the creeper sniffs people to replace body parts.
Yeah.
And he does this every 23 years for 23 days. Is there always a psychic who happens to be around? I really need to know what the psychic's deal is in all this.
Yeah, their deal is to drive the plot.
Yeah,
That's
and
really
she,
all it is.
Yeah, she apparently always comes to the police station with her
Yeah.
things. Yeah, there's a part in here that there's a reason why it's my favorite movie.
Okay,
and
what-
it's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up?
I think so.
Okay. I do like the mystery of which sibling does the monster want.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps you going because she says like one of you are screaming and this song is playing.
Yeah.
And I don't think she knows which one it is
But
because
she looks at the sister.
she looks at the sister. Is that because does she feel bad for the sister because she knows it's the brother? Is that
That's a great way of looking at it, but
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if she was just trying to make it
It's called a red herring, folks.
okay.
Basically just to throw off the
Yeah.
evidence is clear. He sniffs the laundry,
that's true?
right? You know what I'm saying? So the
Also,
answer's clear.
he only takes body parts from men. In this whole series, I don't think he ever. Well, the fourth one gets a
We'll
little
get there.
confusing, but the first three, I don't think he takes anything from women. He kills women, but I don't think he eats anything from them.
Yeah, because like he killed the old lady, the cat lady.
Yeah.
Didn't take anything from
No.
her.
No.
There was a female cop in the car.
Yeah.
And he chopped the male's head off and took
Yeah,
his
yeah.
time.
Wow.
So that kind of clues you in on who he's going to take.
Good observation.
But
That is
yeah,
a good observation.
the cops are super armed. I do like that they're all like fitting into that
Yeah.
window, and the main cop is there. He'll come back with a toupee.
Yeah, boy.
And I like this ending.
Wait, we gotta
Well,
no.
we'll go back.
Okay.
Okay.
When So they have to go into, what are those rooms called where it has the mirror?
Oh, the
one-
interrogation.
The interrogation room. So before that, so Derry and Trisha are off to that room or whatever. And then this was the part. And I was very young at the time.
Yeah.
So when I saw this in a movie, I kind of felt seen a little bit. Just wait.
I don't even know what you're talking about, so I'm excited.
Just wait. Okay. So the creeper's coming around, like, and he's crawling on the ceiling and everything.
Yeah.
I think Jonathan Breckett, the creeper, did mention to do that or something. I think that was his idea. Anyway, and he gets to the psychic, and right before, like, she's there, she starts praying. And I was like, oh my gosh, they put this in a horror movie? Like, I love this.
So
that's what made it, like, my favorite thing. And then he didn't kill her, so I was like, see?
It was real.
You gotta pray.
It was really because she was a woman.
Oh my gosh, Tony!
Hey, look, praying didn't help Daniel
Listen.
Harris in Camp Coldbrook. Remember
That's
that?
right. She was praying the rosary and everything. Anyway.
I came so out of left field. Anyway.
But I did, like, after this movie, I did, like, some research. And, of course, that's when I found out, like, of course, what had happened. But I know of his background and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. I know. But, yeah, and then the interrogation room, and I thought that was a chilling
That is a
scene as
cool
well.
scene, yeah. But, yeah, I can understand the disconnect from, like, the first half to where he's, like, now he's, like you said, crawling on the walls.
Yeah.
Like Spider-Man, and he's got, like, wings, and he looks like a goblin. It's like, okay, this feels disconnected.
Yeah,
from the
it kind of
first half.
ramps up really quick.
Yeah, he really ramps up. And then, of course, I do love the scene at the end where she, like, tries to beg with him to, like, not take him. And
That was just sweet.
But yeah, then, like, this started reminding me of the Predator. Those little bumps on his head are actually mandibles, and it, like, opens up like a
he's so
frightened
scary.
monster.
Horrifying.
He looks horrifying.
Literally traumatized me. It's funny
Yes.
because it sounds like you folks both like just were like, that was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
But I was like literally 9 and I was traumatized. Like, no joke, my mom
so
brought me
cool.
to see a shrink. That sounds like a joke, but I'm fucking
Because
being
of this
serious.
movie or just
I was just so traumatized.
Okay. There had to have been more that went into
No.
that. You don't have to tell us.
Dude, there was in 5th grade, we had a birthday party and all my friends were playing Manhunt outside and I was too afraid to go outside to run around because it was in the middle of spring and I kept looking in the sky, I thought, oh my God, he's coming to get me. And my mom was like, what the hell are you talking about, kid? It was the whole thing.
That's a great impact.
They didn't explain to you that movies are fake and it's not real.
You know, apparently I wasn't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Oh. I was rewatching this at night, and it was pretty scary.
Yeah.
It is a scary movie.
I have too much fun with it. It doesn't scare me. I can see how it could be, but I just think they're just fun movies. But yeah, he gets away with Derry, whatever. Justin Long.
I do think he has a different name. They say it in the beginning, and then I was like, wait, I thought his name was Derry, and then they stick with Derry.
It's like I think it might be a nickname.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
Is his real name like Darren or something?
I don't know.
But yeah, it is sad when she like pleads and the creeper's like, it'd be funny if the creeper's was like, I don't know what this lady's saying. I'm a monster. It's
Yeah,
just, like,
and then
takes
like
off.
she runs off with the crows flying. That's just like sad.
Yeah. Okay.
It's horrific.
Luckily, the CGI was limited for this one because the flying, the wing looks a little fake and the flying looks a little rough. But again, it's only a few seconds, so I'll let it go. I'll let it go. But yeah, it's a sad ending, and poor what's his face, he doesn't make it.
Yeah.
Rips his eyes out, and thankfully we didn't see the eyes being ripped out. We didn't see any eye injury in this one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is a great reveal. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good.
That is a great reveal at the end where he comes up through his
pops
eyes,
up.
and it's the same color
Yeah.
eye
Ugh.
as Justin Long.
I wonder whose eye it was. I wonder if it was Justin Long's.
It has to be. Well, oh, you mean like, no, I think they just put,
Actor.
because if you actually
Oh.
look during that last confrontation, the creeper looks like he has cataracts
Yeah.
or something. It's
Yeah.
completely like hazy, and
Oh,
now.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
That's great.
You didn't notice that?
No,
Yeah.
I did notice it,
I
but I
didn't
didn't
notice
make
that.
the connection
Yeah.
that, duh, that's why he needs eyes.
Yeah.
But this reminded me when I have you seen Krampus?
No.
Yes.
You haven't seen
No,
Krampus?
I've never seen that, yeah.
You
Oh,
didn't,
do
but
mind
you
if I-
you watched my review that I
Of
did with
course
Crystal.
I did.
Okay,
I watched
thank you.
and I liked and subscribed.
Me and Crystal reviewed the naughty cut. You didn't know there was a director's cut?
No.
it's nothing. It's like 5 extras.
That's like Megan. They did the same thing with Megan.
Yeah, it's like not much was added here, but okay. But it's on a 4K Blu-ray now, so I got that.
Cool.
And a little poster. But anyway, keep
well,
going.
doesn't the ending of that movie kind of remind you? I think it took inspiration from Jeepers Creepers
Yes.
because of the lair.
Yeah.
And he has great taste in music, the Jeeper. Or the Jeeper.
The
Jeeper.
Jeeper?
Yeah, the Jeeper.
That's what he's known as. That's the Jeepers axe.
The
I will
Jeeper.
say, him like sewing the flesh and everything when he's sitting on the thing, it looks like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah.
When Buffalo Bill is like naked sewing,
Yeah.
it looks almost exactly like that.
It's just always like old music with like creepy guys sewing, like Leatherface and the guy
So
from
every
like
so every
Insidious
23
and,
years,
like,
he did like I guess like the 30s, he just really got into the music then. And
Oh,
he's
he was like, dude, this fucking place is hanging out, man. I love
he hasn't
this place.
updated his collection. He hasn't learned about CDs.
I mean, to be
guess.
fair, I haven't updated my music section, like selection, since like 2003. So
Love that. There's this great business that makes masks like that, and they
Yeah.
have the Justin Long one without the.
Oh,
I want it
really?
So
That's cool.
bad. Hashtag gift ideas.
Yeah, actually,
But that's horrific. And the rose tattoo, there's apparently like stories behind it. And
Okay.
Jonathan Brack mentions that in an interview because there's a whole thing that went into the tattoo, and I want to know what it is. He didn't say. Could I tell my Justin Long story, please?
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so I went to the New York Film Academy. So I,
Ooh.
studious.
fancy.
And I was with my mom in Union Square, and we were shopping for groceries, and we were just like walking along the street, and you know it's so crowded there. And I hear Justin Long's voice. I'm like, Mom, I swear to God, I just heard Justin Long. I
No
heard
way.
he has such a distinct voice. I'm like, I heard his voice, and she's like, go find him. So I left. And I went, and it was like right in front of Trader Joe's in Union Square. And I found him like, are you Justin Long? And he's like, yes. I'm like, are you really? And he's like, no. And I'm like, wait, are you Justin Long? And he's like, yes, that's me. And I was like, Jeepers Creepers is like my favorite movie. I love you so much. And I'm like, I go to the New York Film Academy. I hope to work with you one day. He's like, oh, me too. And let's post the picture here.
Oh, you took the picture with him?
Yes,
Oh,
I got
you
a
gotta
great
send that. You gotta
photo
send
with him. That was the best celebrity interaction I've
That
ever
is so
had.
cool.
I would love to work with Justin Long. I would love to have Justin Long on this show.
Yeah.
Remind me to go back to the Superman Returns review and cut out every criticism
Everything
I
you
have
said about Justin
Kate
Long.
Bosworth's Lois Lane impression. I love Kate, but best Lois Lane, Kate Bosworth. We love her.
Yes, they're engaged.
Yes, don't watch our Superman Returns review.
It's such a shame though about like what happened, especially because these are such great performances from
Yeah.
all of the actors. So it's just a shame.
I mean, it's not on them. It's not
No,
on
it's
them.
not on them. So
But yeah, this is actually the first Justin Long role I can think of.
I think you're right. I think it was his first leading role.
Yeah,
at
it
least.
was. Yeah.
yeah. I like Justin Long.
He was 22.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he is young in this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like her too. She
Oh,
wasn't.
she's awesome.
she's not a
Yeah.
Gina Phillips.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is funny because I had to look up for a later one. The VHS movies. I think VHS 94. There's an actress
Oh.
called Gina Louise Phillips.
Oh.
And when Jeepers Creepers 3 was coming out, everyone was like messaging this other Gina Phillips about her role. And she had come out and be like, I'm not that Gina Phillips. I'm the other Gina Phillips.
I love those movies.
Yeah, there was missed opportunities with that actress for sure.
Yeah, I mean, she's in stuff. She's in a lot of
I
stuff.
mean,
but
in
just,
this franchise.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We'll see. We'll
yeah.
talk.
Yeah. No, I.
Well, we'll
I
get there.
agree. But yeah, Jeepers Creepers 1. We've talked about it a lot. We got to get to these.
I'm sorry.
We got to get to these
It's
sequels.
my favorite movie.
That's fine.
Horror movie.
Yes, yes. So yeah, the movie did really, really well. It was like a surprise hit. So of course they did a sequel.
Jeepers Creepers 2.
Now,
Boy,
Victor
did they.
Salva apparently was like, I don't want to do a sequel. That's why I came up with the 23 years rule.
Oh.
But apparently Francis Ford Coppola is like, yes, but in your movie you didn't mention which day it is. So they're like, so that could have been like day 1 of his 23 days.
Yeah.
So that's
Is
how
that what
they
he
came
said?
up. Apparently,
That's
yeah.
Great
funny.
point.
I read that it was Francis Ford Coppola that said it, but I remember the DVD extras where he's just like, I never said what day was in the first movie. So it turns out there was wiggle room for a sequel.
Wow, that's funny, actually.
Love that.
So Jeepers Creepers 2 comes out. I heard from people that it wasn't as good, but it was still a lot of fun. And then, of course, I mean, you guys you watched it back to back.
Yeah.
I can't imagine watching it back to back. Like for the first time, that's got to be a unique experience.
Yeah. And it had to have been such a bigger budget.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
huge.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. What did they tell you about Jeepers Creepers 2 before you watched it? you know anything
my
about it?
friend's mom was like, "Okay, honey, like this is gonna be very scary. Are you sure?" I'm like, yeah, I've watched horror movies before. I'm in
Yeah.
4th grade. She was a moron for
Yeah.
believing me. She goes, "It's really scary," and I'm like, "All right, yeah, lady, I'm fine. I'm 9 years old. I can handle
Yeah,
this."
I'm 9 late.
And all I was told was that it was very scary.
They
And I
didn't
was
tell
like,
you,
how
like-
scary could it have been? And as we know, manhunt, 5th grade, couldn't go outside.
I would like to see like someone who watched this one for the first time because that first scene is great. First off, Ray Wise is in it.
Yeah,
Wise.
fuck.
Ray Wise, who is in what's that famous show that he was in? Oh god, the David Lynch one, Joey C. What is it? They always show the picture of the homecoming queen in it. Twin Peaks. He was in Twin Peaks, and oh yes, that's right. Sorry, I forget. Did we mention this already? Joey C is wearing the Tony Peaks shirt, which is available now.
HackTheMovies.com.
Yes, Ray Wise. Of course, I said Twin Peaks, but I actually, when I think of Ray Wise, I think of one of the main bad guys from RoboCop. He's like in the bad. He's Clarence Boddicker. Like I think he's the second to last to die.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
He's the one that cheers at the end, and then
yeah.
Lewis blows him up. Oh man, RoboCop's awesome.
Wow.
Anyway, I want to watch RoboCop now. End the video. We're watching RoboCop.
Yeah, this opening scene scared the shit.
Again,
out of
he
me.
was. These movies are so good at setting stuff up. So they're setting up all the scarecrows. They mention the post punching machine, which becomes like a big thing later. But yeah, it is creepy. And I think they put this in the trailer where like the scarecrow, it is the creeper, and he looks real quick and then turns back. I'm like, I don't like that.
Yeah, that.
I don't like that.
To this day, I have not returned to a cornfield since then.
Really?
Yeah.
There's so many here.
Yeah, have not returned to a cornfield. You will not find Joey C in a cornfield.
What?
Yeah.
Hey,
not
Joe,
a
you
chance.
want to watch Signs?
I do not.
You want to watch all the Children of the Corn
No,
movies?
thank you.
Trying to think of other corn.
That Netflix.
What about
like,
Field of Dreams?
1922. I
Will you
can't
watch-
it. No, can't do it, man.
The movie about baseball ghosts and the love of the guy's father, and it's like you were like, no, too scary.
Yeah, Joey C ends
They're
up
not
dead
even
in a
scary
cornfield.
ghosts.
I don't want anything to do supernatural.
It's not even supernatural. You just don't want to go in a cornfield.
Yeah, I'm not.
I
doing
will
it.
say, I shot in a cornfield years ago for it was like a proof of concept trailer. I was an Amish guy. This is when I was
cool.
blonde. This was my blonde phase.
Blonde.
Look, they said my character had to be blonde and I could wear a wig, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna go the extra mile. So I dyed my hair blonde.
Fuck yeah.
And then they screwed up their schedule, so I was blonde way longer than I planned to be. But we were filming in a cornfield, and there's like scary ass spiders and like big yellow and black spiders.
Even better reason to stay out of a cornfield.
I
What
go
are you
every
trying to
year.
sell me?
October corn maze. Gotta go.
We should do a corn maze.
Yeah.
You know what?
Conquer the
Are you kidding me?
I'm gonna hire actors to dress as the creeper. Just jump
Oh
out.
my God.
Actually, Joey, hold on. Shady Brook Farm. They
Yes.
have the haunted corn maze. It's one
Yeah.
of the scariest things I've ever done.
Really? It's scary?
It was 10 years ago when I did it. We got to do the haunted corn maze.
Please.
You're coming up. We're doing the
Please
haunted
do
corn
it.
maze.
I'll
Okay.
come. I'll
Okay.
come.
Anyway. Jeepers Creepers 2. Great
Yes.
intro.
So good.
Where he takes the kid. Now, again, if this was someone watching for the first time, I wonder if, like, when it turns out the guy is a bat and flies away, they'd be like, wait, what the fuck? What is this, a giant bat? What's this? But then we meet our real heroes, the basketball team. They're coming, they
Was
just
it
played.
basketball?
Is it football?
I thought it was
I
basketball.
thought it was football.
Yeah, I thought it was football too, but it might be basketball because I don't think they wear those jerseys. I don't know sports. I'm not.
I think football, they do wear those jerseys and they have cheerleaders.
I thought it was
I
basketball.
don't think basketball has cheerleaders.
So the
Yeah, they
sports,
do.
the
I don't
sports
know.
team
The
comes
sports ball
to the bus.
teams.
They're on the bus and they're like,
You don't
"Yay,
know sports."
Go sports!"
Love sports, man.
Yeah.
They're honking to the guy, or they get the guy to honk at them.
Oh, yeah, out
and
the
of course
window
there's
and
one
everything.
butthurt player.
He didn't get to play enough.
Yeah.
Mm.
But
He
yeah,
didn't-
this. Oh wait, hold on. Why am I saying the plot of the story? I
Oh
forgot
yeah,
to
you
look at
can
the
read
back.
it.
Sorry, Joey. I want you to read this.
Oh,
Yes.
I'm not that good of a reader.
You know what's funny? The last time I was shooting, it was after like a week of filming like 5 episodes, and I was burned out. Now I've gone too long without doing an episode. Now I'm all over the place. I need a healthy balance.
No,
All
this
right.
is good.
Here we go. When their bus is crippled on the side of a deserted road, a team of high school athletes discover an opponent they cannot defeat and may not survive. Staring hungrily at them through the school bus window, the creeper returns again and again, and when the teammates discover that it's selective about whom it attacks, it will test their ability to stick together as the insatiable menace tries to tear them apart. Wow.
That sounds so good.
That's a good description there.
That's so like genius. Great
There's no
metaphor.
reviews
Yeah.
either.
No review.
So the creeper in this one, he's upped his arsenal. Now he has ninja stars.
Yeah, and a personality.
And a
Yeah, that's true.
personality.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they hinted a little bit in the previous one where she runs over and like all his knives fall out of his coat. But now he has like ninja stars that have like teeth.
Yeah.
And then they have poor Justin Long's belly button.
Belly button with the rose.
I think they're not teeth. I think they're bones.
They're bones, but there
Yeah.
is a tooth in the middle of
Oh,
one,
that's
remember?
right. There is.
Yeah,
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 I
yeah.
forgot about that.
So yeah, there is the butthurt guy. There's the 3 girls. One of them turns out to be psychic, I guess.
Yeah.
Just is the creeper just being around make people psychic? What's going on there? But yeah, I like that they get a flat in one of their tires. That's how they find the ninja star. And then they get another one. Now, here's the thing with this film. This film is, I don't know if you noticed, is a little gay.
What?
Yeah, Joey, did you notice that this
No.
Oh, wow, okay.
What do you mean?
Well, you know, there's
Next thing
just-
you're going to tell me is Nightmare on Elm Street 2 is gay.
And
Oh my God.
So Joey, when you were a young kid, you rented 2 of the gayest horror movies of all time.
Perhaps.
You know-
And watch them back to back.
You know how things turned out. You know, I don't want to believe in conspiracy theories, but maybe the whole Hollywood turning people gay thing, maybe it might have actually worked a little bit, Joey. Okay.
I think you're onto something here.
So if you don't notice this, Joey dropped that story on me when we did our Nightmare on Elm Street 2 commentary. Like, wait, Joey, wait a minute. This explains.
I never noticed it either.
Wow.
But yeah, there's multiple shots of the guys always find an excuse to take their shirts off. They're sunbathed. I've never seen
Yeah.
guys. Look, when I was in high school, I wasn't in crazy shape, but I was very, very thin, and I didn't wear a shirt a lot. But I don't think I ever sunbathed with my guy friends
On
ever.
top of
Yeah.
a school bus.
No,
My
no.
teachers would have never allowed that. The
And then
chaperones.
they mentioned the one guy, Izzy.
Uh-huh.
Is he or isn't he? That apparently he snuck out to a bar, and they're like, yeah, but you went to a gay bar. Like, this movie is. And again, I'm like, when someone pointed it out to me, I'm like, nah, I don't think it's that gay. I think you guys are just reading into it too much. But when the creeper is giving finger guns to dudes, I'm like, okay,
Whoa.
I'm like,
And when they go to the bathroom, they're just going for the longest time ever.
they're peeing for a really
like
long
with
time.
their shirts off.
Too close to each other, by the way. Okay.
They are quite close.
I peed with men in the woods, okay? We're not that close to each other, all right? It's just like, okay, they're like, Victor, you can do whatever you want on this movie. It's like, well, I need 10 shirtless guys.
Oof. Well, I think I can say this story because
Yeah.
they've mentioned it on their podcast, but with Adam,
Yeah.
when I told Adam Green that this was my favorite movie,
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers, he told me that he auditioned for Jeepers Creepers too
Oh.
because he really wanted to get a hold of the script.
Yeah.
And of course, he had to audition with the director in the room, and he had to do a nice little twirl for the director, and it was really creepy.
No.
Whoa, that is GB.
You know, I haven't had to
Yeah.
like do auditions for a while. I could never do that. I could never be like, turn around a little bit. Let me
No,
look at you.
no.
I'm like,
Ugh.
I'll just take your word for it.
Yeah.
I hope you look good without clothes on.
I'm
I'll take
sure
your
you
word
look
for it.
fine.
We'll find out on the day.
But all of these actors in this movie seem to have an equal role to me, it seems. Like
Yeah.
they each have like equal speaking parts.
That's
Yeah.
a very good point, actually. There's not really like, I mean, there's definitely standalone like people in there, but it is very spread even.
I was gonna say it is an ensemble cast. It's hard to tell who the main character is
Right.
because, like, is it Ray Wise? Like, not really. He disappears for a while, and then the sports team. I'm like, oh, is it the sad guy who didn't get to play a lot because we're spending a lot of time with him? Like, well,
Yeah.
not really. They're like, is it the psychic lady who's talking to Justin Long? Which apparently those dream sequences,
Oh yeah.
which I actually like those dream sequences.
Eat what?
Eat us.
apparently they trimmed down. He like gave more exposition.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of deleted scenes.
Yeah,
that
and
had
they
some
trimmed
of
them
that,
down a
yeah.
lot. I guess he's tied to whatever kind of supernatural being the creeper is allows this weird psychic stuff
I
and
guess
ghost
so.
stuff.
And this, what's on Derry's shirt, the yellow shirt.
Yeah.
Is it the same school?
Oh,
Oh
yeah, he's wearing something that says
Like Dannon or something?
I think
don't
it is.
know.
I think it
the
is.
same
I think it
school?
is. We'll
Whoa.
double check. We'll double
yeah,
check.
wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this movie's gay. But also it's got some pretty good sequences. I do love when the coach is dropping flares and it's out of focus and the creeper just comes up,
Yeah.
Dude,
scoops them
that
into the air.
scared the shit out of me.
That is a good moment.
Recently?
No, like when I watched it.
Yeah.
Well, yes, recently. But when I watched it, that was a big reason why I couldn't play Manhunt outside. Because I was like, oh, dude, I couldn't go anywhere. It doesn't
And-
matter if you have a flare or not.
And I
that's
love the
great.
delay where they're like, what happened to him? And then the flare falls like
That's
a minute
awesome.
later.
Awesome
That is
shot.
so cool.
Yeah.
So good. It is so
And I do like how they're trapped on that bus for a
good.
while.
Yeah.
Now there is a little bit of an issue. Okay. So they shot on location and on like a sound stage.
Uh-huh.
And the night sky is pitch black. It's pitch black. Unless they're doing a green screen shot of the creeper, in which case there are a billion stars in the sky.
Yeah.
It kept
There
like
is.
throwing me off so much. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. There's no stars in the sky. Then he cuts to the creeper and it's just a trillion
You
stars.
ruined that for me because I never noticed it
It's
before
so
until
good.
then.
No, it
And
looked
I'm
pretty.
like,
It
wow.
looked pretty. He's like lit weird. It looked pretty awkward. It kept
Oh, I
taking me
thought
out of
still
it.
looked good.
Actually, you know what's funny? With the DVD,
Yeah.
when you pop it in, they did shoot like a bunch of stuff when you select options and whatnot.
Yes.
The creeper, like when you hit play, the creeper like looks to look like he's breaking your TV.
That's
Oh, that's
so
cool.
coming
cool.
out.
Yeah, that's cool.
What I guess is they shot it like on a black background and it didn't look right. And they're like, add some stars, but they overcompensated.
A lot of the behind the scenes are on YouTube, and it is a green screen.
Yeah, oh, okay, so it is green screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't match with what the rest of it looked like. I
Mm-hmm.
wonder if it was just like ideas they came up with later. But yeah, I do like the scene where he's sniffing the kids. He has a vagina nose. I didn't remember the vagina nose. Does that bother you guys when he's sniffing and then suddenly
It's just very creepy.
it's really
Yeah.
creepy.
Very,
I don't
very
like that. I don't like
creepy.
the vagina nose. But no, I love the scene where he's like smiling at them.
Is
and
that when he
winking.
licks the glass?
He licks the
Yeah.
glass.
Yeah, like he's going through, like he's making them.
Oh, yeah,
you're
move,
next.
yeah.
You're next.
Yeah. And like,
It's
They
like real
also-
life Tinder. you
yeah.
know?
He's swiping left and right
He's
on
who
the
created it. There's also I don't know how to say it, but the sad boy.
Yeah.
He also brings up, well, I'm not the right color or something.
Oh, yeah.
Like I can't believe they started that so early.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so there's a lot of race stuff and a
Yeah,
lot of
that-
homosexual stuff in this. The race stuff is subtext. The homosexual stuff is a little blatant, I feel, for me. And again, watching this after hearing about it, I'm like, I still don't think it's that gay. But when it comes to the guy getting his head cut off, or no, the creeper gets his head injured.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he-
the spear through the head.
Yes.
Yeah.
and I
And
love when he like,
rips it off.
and it's pretty cool because you're like, at first, when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, poor Justin Long's eye.
Yeah.
It's all messed up.
Oh,
but
yeah.
then the next movie reveals that wasn't Justin Long's eyes anymore. Anyway, because the interquel. But I like that the creeper rips his head off because I didn't expect that the first time I saw that. I'm like, oh, he's dead, right?
But before that, he like envelops him with the
No, this is
wing.
yeah. That's true. Okay. Yeah.
That looked so cool.
Yes.
This
Oh,
had
to
be a
rip the
practical
guy's head
effect.
off.
Yeah,
You're
like,
right. You're right.
squeezes them
I'm
really
skipping
tight.
around. I just binged these. I binged these
Yeah,
every
and
day.
there was like a poster for that I remember seeing too.
Yeah,
It was
yeah,
cool.
the face. Actually, the
Oh.
DVD menu, before you select anything, it's faces in the wing.
Oh my god.
So this scene of them going past the wing, it's very tense. It reminds me of
Oh yes, you're right.
it kind of reminds me of Scream 2 when the pole goes through the car and they have to
Uh-huh.
like climb
Oh,
over
Yes.
his face.
So
Yep.
good.
And they never yank the man. Anyway. So yeah, this is when I was like,
That's a
okay,
good point.
yeah. This is the point when upon rewatch, I'm like, oh yeah, this movie is a little gay. Because the wing envelops the guy, you're
Yeah.
right, and it rips his head off. But it also makes a point to rip the guy's shirt off to show his nicely toned body. And I like that it like wiggles for
Yeah.
him.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, really? The shirt had to come off with, and his pants are unbuttoned. I don't know if you noticed, when he falls down, his pants are
Of
unbuttoned.
course.
And I'm just like, okay, Victor, that was a little
Wow.
much. That was a little, you went a little too far with that one. But no, that is a cool scene where you're like, what is he going to do? And then somehow he eats the head.
Yeah.
And he grows a new fucking
Yeah.
head. And I love that, like, this is horrifying. For a second, it's still that
yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
He's like, and then it turns into the creeper.
That's the part I would have wanted.
Yeah.
Like if I was in this movie, because like I said, they all have an equal kind of.
Yeah.
Shared
You would be
space.
the head that got ripped
I would
off?
totally want to be the head.
I like when the creeper rips its like half head off, and inside the brain, it's just like little like follicles.
Yeah.
It's like it's really
It's like
cool.
his head isn't even like really his head. Like that mandible thing just reaches in it. So it's kind of showing it's like this thing can't be killed.
This thing
it'll
just
find
yeah.
another way to get out.
No brain whatsoever in that thing. Like literally, there's
Yeah.
no brain in the head, which is wild.
Yeah, it's horrifying to think of.
Yeah, correct.
But yeah, eventually both plot lines kind of converge because then you have the angry dad who they kept saying was like Moby
Oh,
Dick.
yeah. Mhm.
He shows up with the post puncher. I do like the scene where he's like taking out all the kids and he's finally flying and he takes out Sad Guy. But I
Right.
love
Sad
when I love when he's like about to kill, I think the ones in the bus, and then like the light shows up from the dad with the gun, and then his wings come. That is such a cool
Yeah,
shot.
that is a
It's
cool
so
shot.
cool.
There's so much good cinematography in here, and there's really good like stunts.
I loved how action packed it was, and I'm not
Yeah.
even a huge action person, but
Yeah.
I loved seeing all of them running into the cornfield. I'm like, this should be a Halloween Horror Nights maze. It'd be so
That would
good.
be cool.
Also, did you notice the nerd in the movie, the guy with the glasses who was really scared, and
Yeah.
he was the one on the intercom or whatever. He was from 8 Simple Rules for Dating My Teenage Daughter.
never
Did
watched
you ever
that
see
show.
that show?
Yeah, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
he was
crazy.
I want to say his name was Kyle on the show,
Yeah.
but I just haven't seen him in anything since.
I didn't recognize any other actor.
No,
in this movie.
the one guy's from Malcolm in the Middle, the blonde jock guy.
Oh,
is-
okay, no,
yeah.
okay, I did know him then. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There might have been someone else that I remembered, but off the top of my head, I can't.
Yeah.
But you're right. This whole end sequence with CGI aside, but like the car stunts, like when the creeper is like yanking on the thing and it flips the car over like
that's
multiple
so
times.
awesome, yeah.
Right.
That whole post puncher thing is so cool.
It's
Bad
so cool.
ass.
Yeah.
Man. That thing is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And it's just an exciting finale, and I like that they don't kill him at the end. Just time runs out, and he like cocoons up. I also just like Ray Wise just stabbing him
Yeah.
repeatedly
Crazy,
over
dude.
and over again. Like he's dead now. It's like no, not really. Yes, and it's a fun ending. They add a teaser there for a third one.
Really
They
cool.
do?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's
After
it's,
the credits?
No. The ending of the movie, how it
Oh,
fast
the
forward.
sideshow attraction?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, yes.
Where
It's
it's
like $5
23 years
for a
later,
photo.
and 3 people show up. One of them just happens to be a shirtless
Shirtless.
guy.
Yeah, of course.
It was a hot day. It
Yeah.
was a hot
Sure.
day. You know,
Yeah, sure
take
it
your
was.
shirt off. Why not?
Yeah.
Any excuse.
Yeah.
Joey, can we make a horror movie where it's just guys shirtless?
Yeah,
like, no matter
absolutely.
like what the scenario, there has
Yeah.
to be a shirtless guy. and
1,000%.
And every woman needs to be wearing like sweatpants and a hoodie. It's got to be the complete opposite of everything.
1,000% we're doing it.
I'd watch it.
I like that with this series. He tried to subvert stuff. Like he didn't want like the girl being sexualized and whatnot. But also it's like, okay, it's a little creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the ending where they have it on display.
So
And they're like, what are you waiting for? It's like any day now, give or take. And I'm like, that's a pretty good teaser for the
Yes.
end that they do nothing with.
I know. They even like the older guy playing the son.
Yeah.
They even like kept the scar in from the nose, like as
That
he-
was cool.
That was great. I was like, wow, great
Yeah.
detail, like because you wouldn't even notice if you didn't have it, but they
Yeah.
did add it.
Now, we all like to. I mean, it's pretty stupid. It is kind of stupid. It's fun. It's fun.
When I was watching that, I'm like, I don't know if I like this one better than the first.
I definitely like this one better than the first.
They're
It's
hard.
fun.
They're hard movies to like hate. They're silly.
Yeah, they're definitely silly for sure.
I would have liked to see Trish though, and I know early versions of the script she was supposed to be involved, and then from what I read, Victor Salvo really enjoyed the bus storyline more. I'm
Yeah.
Why?
Okay.
Is this so? Does this one take place a few days after or a day after?
It's definitely after because the dairy, the ghost,
Yeah.
and the belly button. I don't know how many days after it
Okay.
is. But
I
it's
just
definitely-
I assumed like if the first one is like 2 days before it's gonna go to sleep, Jeepers Creepers
Oh.
2 is like 1 day because he
Yeah.
obviously runs out of time at the end of it.
Yeah.
So.
Gotcha.
Just like, by the way, The ending, I do love when he's leapfrogging after he
Yeah.
loses his limbs. It
Another
looks so
horrifying
funny.
scene.
The suspense.
Because his wings get ripped off and he's like, blah! It was
Yeah.
like the funniest thing.
I never went into a grass field after that.
It kind of reminded me of like the end of Terminator where he's just a torso and an arm and he's
yeah.
like still going. But yeah, I think this one did well, but for whatever reason, they couldn't get a third movie off the ground.
For a long time.
A long time. He wrote one called Cathedral.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Which I heard rumors about for years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were going to add, speaking of Creeper talking, there was a concept art, like storyboard art for Jeepers Creepers 2 where like he puts his hand into like one of the dead kids and uses it as like a marionette and I think like talks through them.
Ooh.
For whatever reason, that
Whoa.
scene never got used. I think they were planning on using it in the third one. I'm not sure. But yeah, it never got developed with MGM and whatnot. And then because of the internet, more people found out about Victor Salva.
Yeah.
He had gotten in trouble before because he did a Disney movie, Powder, and
Oh, yeah,
there's
I've heard
news
of that
articles from back
movie.
then going like, "What the fuck, Disney?" So people became or they were not excited for him to come back, and it seemed like he needed to be involved for whatever reason. But yeah, it went away until when did Jeepers Creepers 3 come out?
2017.
2017?
Yeah.
God, if you told me this movie was from 2011, I would have believed
Yeah.
you. Holy shit. Yeah, he finally did it. Jeepers Creepers 3. He got the creeper back.
Mm-hmm. It was only out for like a day, I think.
Yeah, I got a very limited. It hit Netflix pretty early, and
Was
it was
on Netflix?
it was free. I think I remember it was free on Netflix, and I didn't even bother watching it.
I know that they were gonna have like a big premiere, like with this and like a double feature of the first one, and they just decided not to because of all the
Yeah.
controversy, obviously.
Yeah, and look, I understand some of this stuff. It's like, no, he was super guilty.
Yeah,
Yes.
big time.
That's kind of like a heinous crime. I understand why people are like, no.
Yeah.
It's weird that it took so long for that to happen. But also, I feel bad for fans of the series who don't know that
Right.
and
Yeah.
wanted to see these characters continue. Because it's disappointing. It's disappointing now. But yeah, I didn't bother with this one.
I saw it in theaters.
You did?
went
I
to
saw
the
it in
theater?
theaters,
You
yeah.
got to see it in
Yeah.
theaters?
Yeah, there was like a whole group of us who they only showed it for one day. And
went.
yeah, we saw.
can't believe you went.
Yeah, I drove like an hour and a half to go see it.
Get out.
Yeah.
Was
Was
it?
the trailer out at that point?
I don't think the trailer was out, but I remember.
Okay, I was
not-
going to say, if I saw the
I didn't
trailer...
look at anything. I was like, I love Jeepers
Yes.
Creepers. I know this is probably going to
Oh.
be bad, but like I'm holding out hope.
But was the theater packed?
It was packed.
It was. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it
that's
was
why they
packed.
did the one night, because they
Yeah.
knew.
And this movie does have hardcore, like that axe from Trick or Treat Studios from 2020. It's got hardcore fans. Actually,
Yeah.
that axe might be the one in these movies because it doesn't look as good as the other one.
I was thinking about because there's this person who has the creeper truck,
Yeah.
and he now goes to conventions with Jonathan Breck.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I think
That's
that's what I would
cool.
get signed.
Yeah,
That's cool as hell.
I will say
wanna
one
go.
issue with the second one. It kind of missed, like, we liked the truck and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and it kind of went all in on the bat stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
I can
I'm
see
like,
that,
okay,
yeah.
but the truck was like kind of like
It's
the
very
big selling
true.
point of that because it was creepy and whatnot. Now that you know what the monster is, they kind of just went nuts with it.
Yeah. I didn't even notice the truck was gone, though, to be honest.
Neither did
Yeah.
I. Didn't even think about it until just
Yeah,
now,
just now.
actually.
But yeah, I didn't want to, and not even for the Victor Salva stuff. I just watched the trailer and I went, nah, I'm good.
Ugh.
I'm good. But you guys both told me that it wasn't very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did you see this?
I saw this in 2020
Okay.
because everything was closed in 2020. So
Yeah.
for my birthday, I decided to just order cookies from different places
Mm-hmm,
and have a marathon of all these movies. And then, yeah, we could put
That's
that
cool.
picture here. it was a great birthday, though. Like, I enjoyed it.
You did spoil one thing for me.
I did?
Yeah. You let me know that it was a you kept saying prequel, but it's more of an interquel.
I did say that?
Yeah. You
I
gave
told-
me a heads up
I
on that.
told you that?
Yeah.
Are you sure it was me?
Yeah, because I asked
I would
about
never
her.
spoil
I think I
something.
asked about her coming back, and then you let me know that it was like before too.
Oh.
That's fine.
so
Casey,
sorry.
it doesn't matter.
I don't think he's
didn't
losing
change.
sleep over
It didn't change anything, to
Yeah.
be honest. I'm gonna read this one.
Okay, after you read, before you
Okay.
read that, could I tell you the first line of my notes?
Yes.
a lot to unpack here.
Yes. They there's okay, I just pulled up the cover, but it's in another language. So I need to find a different cover. Hold on. Yeah, as I look for a DVD that's in English,
That's
how was
crazy.
the theater experience? What was the crowd like?
The crowd was going crazy, actually, like yelling and like people
Angry?
like t-shirt. No, like just having fun, like fucking
Yeah.
around.
Where was it?
It was in Ithaca, New York.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oof. Okay.
Oof.
I'm just thinking of taking the trip up there to see this piece
Yeah.
of shit. On the last day of the Creepers 23-day feeding frenzy. It's not, but okay. Skeptical Sergeant Tubbs, who was a character from the very end of the first one, teams up with a task force hell-bent on destroying the Creeper for good. The Creeper fights back in gory glory as its enemies grow closer than ever before to learning the secret of its dark origins.
Gory glory.
Gory glory.
That is
Yeah.
some nice verbiage right
good.
there.
Meg Foster's in the movie and no one else you know.
That's
Who's
it is-
that?
Yeah, who is
The
that?
grandmother,
The
with the very
grandmother,
piercing
she's so
eye.
scary.
It's funny, like her career is really funny because like she was like in like the 80s and stuff, super attractive, had those piercing eyes, and now she looks later on she ended
She
up
just
looking
looks
really
like-
scary, but
yeah.
still has the piercing eyes.
Just looks
There's
like
a part-
every woman I've ever seen at a 7-Eleven buying like Pall Mall cigarettes.
Yeah.
There's a part in the movie where the boy's like, "Is that your grandma?" And she's just like, "Ah," just like digging up something. You'll know later.
Yeah. So I watched this movie. What were your first Actually, since you watched it, how did you when you finished Jeepers Creepers 3? What was your reaction?
Tony, I was so confused the entire movie. I honestly like there was a jumble in my head. Like I'm like, I don't understand this. There's so
Yeah.
much going on. And in the very beginning of the movie, though, I was like, this looks great. What was I saying before? Like, this looks really good. Whoever directed this did great with the material they were presented. And then I'm like, oh,
It was Victor's house.
I didn't know it was him.
And it had the same cinematographer from the first two. Definitely a lower budget,
Yeah,
though.
much lower.
Much
budget.
lower budget.
Gotcha.
And 20 years of wear and tear.
Yeah, and obviously, like, for, like, the first half of the movie, I'm like, all right, they're trying. But I have issue with
Yeah.
later on. I'm like, yeah.
It drops off
yeah.
big time.
So, I think it begins with a flashback to the previous 23 years. Prom night, where the guy is on the way to his prom because he's got the little flower
Yes.
thing.
Yeah.
And he sees someone get attacked, and then it's kind of left on a cliffhanger there what happened to
Okay.
him. We know what happened to him.
But he was not the prom date that they're talking about in the first one.
Because, there's no, like, date.
Girl.
Yeah.
Well, I
There's
thought
no
he was
date.
going to the prom.
No.
I suppose
Pick
he
her
could
up.
be
Yes.
going. Yeah, but then, like, how would the creeper know that that was his date?
Or did he, hold on. Did he find the hand, bury it at his house, and then go to the
You know what?
No.
Maybe.
No. No.
Well, now I'm confused. Now I am confused. I thought
See,
it was
when
that guy.
I heard, because I was like, what does the grandmother have to do with this? And when they mentioned that, I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, but wait, he was taken alone. And in the first movie, they said that they never found their bodies.
Maybe he killed more than one prom student. It's possible.
Yeah, it might be that, but why even include that?
Look, there were a bunch of nice young men dressed up, very stud-like, and the creeper was like, "These are my guys. I got to eat their parts. Let's do this.
a
Let's
good
do
point.
this."
That is a good point.
But yeah, then it flashes to right after Jeepers Creepers 1, and Sergeant Tubbs there to make it look like it was 2001 when it is clearly not 2001. They put a very obvious hairpiece on him.
Yes.
Like it
I
was,
just thought they dyed his hair. 'Cause
No.
No,
just,
it's a
like,
hair. If you look at what he
so
look-
unnatural.
And I'm
It's
just
insane.
like, they should have just put a hat on him
Mm-hmm.
for this movie. Also, it looks like it's been, because it has, it looks like it's been 16, 17 years. I'm like, this doesn't look like he's in 2001 anymore.
Right.
I'm sorry.
And they're showing more of the gadgets of the truck.
Yeah, so what I'm thinking is they couldn't do like a lot of crazy creeper stuff, maybe. Because the makeup effects, it takes a lot of time. They're on a budget. They're like, what if the creeper's truck has gadgets in it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that could explain some things. That the creeper's truck is a monster
Yeah,
in
and I
itself.
guess it's to like also
Yeah.
compete, although a little late, compete with like the Saw stuff. Like, maybe it has death traps.
I do think all of the creeper sequences are awesome.
They're a little too brightly. He looks weird.
He's
He
a
looks
little
very
more
clean cut
dry
now.
in this movie.
Yeah.
He is very
Yeah.
dry. That does look. It's always weird in like these monster movies. Like the more dry they get, the more fake they look.
Yeah.
Like the Alien movies, like when they get the AVP, the first one, where they're all like just like super dry, and like that's just a man in a rubber suit. That's
Yeah.
another thing.
And he said that of course, it didn't take much longer for the putting the effects on him for this one. It was like 3 hours, whereas like the first few movies were
Well,
like 7 hours.
well, you notice in this
Interesting.
one, he never loses his clothes in this one. The previous one, they
Yeah.
figure out a way to get him like out of his clothes to flex his
Yeah.
wings, but then when they saw what the wings look like in this one, they're like, let's not use them. They still use them too much, but they're like, let's keep his jacket on and everything.
Yeah, he's got that red shirt.
Oh yeah, he does have a red
Did
shirt.
he have a red
Yeah.
shirt in
The
the other
entire
ones, or is it just more noticeable in this
Is there
one?
an Easter egg that we're missing with this red shirt? Like, was there a
Maybe.
kid with a red shirt on the bus?
I
or
don't
something?
know. I
Or
know,
this was
'cause this is
before.
before the bus.
Yeah. So in the
So
first movie,
confusing.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So apparently the creeper really likes his truck and he'll do anything to get it. Just like, let it go, buddy. I don't think anyone like. I know I missed the truck in the second one, but I'm just like, okay.
I did
The
like
creeper,
when the creeper
is risking
like,
a lot to get this thing.
I
Yeah.
did like that sequence though,
Where he gets the
when
truck?
he gets the truck back.
Oh, it was
and he
awesome.
Fucking Teen Wolf rides it down
He's
the
ghost
road.
riding.
That was the best.
He's ghost riding the whip. Remember that craze?
I completely agree. That was that's when I was like, wow, whoever directed this did a really good job.
Yeah, I
Okay.
enjoyed that section.
I had one
was
question
good.
though about the traps.
Okay.
The blades that came down.
Mm-hmm.
Were they like kaleidoscope retractable?
They-
Because they look like solid blades, and I'm like, where are they coming from? That makes no sense.
can't ask these questions.
It's magic, Tony.
Oh,
Okay?
it's magic.
Yeah.
It's a
Magic.
magic blade.
He's a magician now. Okay.
I love the harpoon that just shoots and almost kills the cop. But yeah, how did you guys feel about the creeper squad that hunts the creeper?
Where were they in the first movie?
They were busy.
Oh, of course, with the other creepers.
Well,
That's
you know,
right.
they mentioned the church. I think they might have went to the church that night.
they,
And
yeah.
that's who said it was on fire.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
Who's
That's
this actor? Who's the actor?
Oh,
from
Stan-
Monster Squad.
yeah.
He is from Monster Squad.
Yeah,
isn't
he's
he?
in
Yeah,
Monster
Stan-
Squad. In
wow.
our Monster Squad episode, I tell you he's in Jeepers
that
Creepers
might have been where
3.
you spoiled it for me.
Maybe.
Stan Shaw.
Well, Stan Shaw
Yeah.
has a many monologues in this movie, and I'm like, can you please just shut the everything? When I saw him the first time, I'm like, when?
Yeah,
How do you have a
when you
backstory
see
to
him
Can
him?
we
for the
see
first
that
time.
movie more than this one?
Yes. There is so much going on. I can't follow. I just can't.
Oh
We
my!
still don't even know about the prom date.
Yeah, we still don't know about the prom date. Well, the prom date again. We have psychics and mediums in this franchise.
Of course. Yep.
The grandmother, who is the mother of the prom date, she's getting visions from this guy while all this is going on. So the
Yeah.
cops are hunting for the creeper. The creeper squad is hunting for the creeper,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's a subplot about a sad grandmother and a granddaughter
Yes.
who might need to sell the farm.
Right, and she's having visions of the son, who is
Yep.
probably one of the worst actors I'm sorry I've ever seen.
Oh, so bad.
And then later-
Yeah.
Later, guess what?
What?
There's a scene of him shirtless, and I'm like, that's why. That's why he's in this
there you
movie.
go.
is.
There you go.
That's why.
Like, that's why they cast him. He is trim. Like,
Yes, yes.
really shredded, but still.
I did like. Yeah, he's just. I like that he's just yelling.
He's so mean.
He's like, you gotta get out of the farm. I buried something here. You gotta get out. And then she's screaming back at him. And I do love that, like, the girl just
Oh,
looks out her
she's looking
window
through
and
the
she's
window.
like, rah, 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 just a nothing.
Classic.
I don't know why. But it's reminding me of Tenacious D with Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Where in his mind, he's
In the
hanging out with
trip,
Bigfoot
yeah.
and, like, the candy farce. And then in real life, he's just talking to trees.
Talking
and
to
shit.
trees, yeah, and bushes and stuff. Classic.
Oh, I've been karaokeing the shit out of
Tell
that
ya.
soundtrack. Anyway, so yeah, the creeper wants to find his arm, but he's also eating people because it's 23 days. He hunts some bikers, which was reminding me of Pumpkinhead a little bit. With the asshole dirt bikers.
Yeah.
And he like tortures them. He gets the one guy in the leg.
And the harpoon like GPSs.
Yeah,
him
the
around
harpoon is
tree.
like a GPS.
Yeah.
And then, okay, he's got a harpoon that GPSs, but he also has a magic spear.
Oh yeah, that just comes out.
So this came out, by the way, this came out after like the Thor movie. So now the creeper can just summon his weapons like Thor. then he throws his spear, which is also a harpoon.
Like, what was Victor Salva thinking? Sorry,
I
what
don't-
was he thinking?
Did he write this?
Yes,
he
wrote it
this.
too.
Wow.
This was not his original idea. I think he wanted to do like the whole thing with Trish and the psychic and maybe even follow up on the 23 years later thing. But for whatever reason, it evolved into this. And look, if you don't have the budget to pull off some sequences, you should probably rewrite your script a little bit because they were trying to do a little too much and like,
Yes, I think he felt like, okay, this is the last time I'm going to direct this movie. It's
Let's just
my
go
last
all out.
chance.
Let's
Let
go
me
all
just put
out.
everything in here, but it was not
his
well done.
his wings have never looked worse. They're tiny. by
they
the
are
way.
tiny. Yeah.
They are very, and they're digital. You can make them big.
They do look worse.
They are.
They're gonna. It's gonna come up. You'll see.
And then when he like plucks the one dirt biker and flies into the air, I'm like, that is not as cool. That's the other thing. They're trying to imitate like the previous movies, like scares and stuff. And I'm like, yeah,
Gotcha.
but it's a quarter of the budget, buddy. It doesn't look as good at all.
Yeah.
Come up with some new stuff. A lot of that first movie, you didn't have wings.
Yeah,
they
that's
had
right.
Plenty of creepy visuals with just him standing in a coat. You don't need the fucking monster wings. We don't need to see it. And like, it's not even like Jeepers Creepers 2 where he's in the daylight, but it's like harsh sun.
Right.
So you can't get a good look at him. Here, it's just, he's just out.
Yeah, he's out in
And
the
lighting,
open.
and I'm like, it doesn't look like a It just looks like a man in makeup now.
Yeah, and these dirt bike riders, they're not the people. You don't like them.
They are the,
like-
They're the worst.
type of people.
Yeah.
I wanted to like rip my eyes out just watching them.
Like
interact.
Justin Long?
Yes, of
Give them
course.
to the creeper.
But, oh, by the way, so apparently now, like, the beating you truck is now a local legend. They're like, be eating you. We know about that
Oh,
truck.
yes, they mentioned that.
And it's like, no one ever mentioned that in the other ones.
No.
And then the guy starts singing the song, and I'm like, well, wasn't that song specific for Justin Long's character? They're really trying to remind you of the other two movies.
Yeah.
It's like,
That are
well,
so good.
You
Yeah.
should be watching those instead.
yeah, you know, I don't think we needed a Jeepers Creepers 3.
Yeah, so he gets the one kid,
Yeah.
puts him in the truck,
Yeah.
and then the grandmother's niece, I guess?
No, granddaughter.
Granddaughter.
You're like the grandmother's
She-
niece? Grandmother's niece.
She needs to go find hay for her horse.
Yeah.
She can't afford it. So she
They
kind
were
of shacks up with the
massive.
guy.
Yeah.
who
Freckle face?
Also, yes, Freckle
Yeah.
face.
Yeah,
Who
some-
was? I think he was in the Scream TV series. He's in some other
he
horror
might have
movie.
been.
I can't remember.
Yep.
So then he gets her. Sorry.
What?
Then he gets her.
Oh, yes, he grabs her. Yes,
That
was
and
a
that scene was cool.
Yeah, you know what pisses me off
Yeah.
about that scene? I'll tell you what.
Okay.
I have a bone to pick with this
Yes.
scene.
Okay.
It's like this movie is very like 1950s vibe with all the 1950s cars.
Yeah.
And then they have the flip phone, and I'm like, well, which era are you
Well,
trying
no, it
to
is
go
2001, but I mean, the first movie, she's driving an old ass car.
That's
In the
true.
first movie.
Right.
But no, I did like the flip phones because it had to remind you it was
For? Yeah, of
2001.
course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone should have had a fuzzy bucket hat.
Yeah.
And
I
there
didn't
is-
see any
Jenko
frosted
jeans,
tips.
No frosted tips.
There was a controversial line in the movie. It was because they're like, why does she live with her grandmother? And
Yeah.
it's because of like the stepdad or something.
Yeah.
And then the freckle face's brother is like, yeah, well, who wouldn't like want to like her or something? I'm like,
Victor, you want to cut that line? You want to
Exactly.
cut that line, Victor? Just want to cut that line?
it was cut from some screenings, I
Okay.
think, but on the DVD it's there because it was definitely in the cut I watched.
Yeah.
Whoa, yeah, it was definitely not in the cut that I watched.
Yeah, so you watched the sci-fi one.
Yeah.
Victor,
Whoa.
cut the line. But surprisingly, Francis Ford Coppola didn't produce this one.
Wow, really? You don't
Yeah,
say.
I'm guessing after the internet and it got too big of a story, Coppola was like, you know what? I think I'll distance
Yeah.
myself.
I like my
Now,
PR.
over 10 years later, it's like, okay, it took you a really long time, buddy. Yeah, but what's the company that did this one? It's like Screen
Screen,
something?
it's Screen Media.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
And I had to take a double take.
One word off. I was like, I don't
What the
remember
hell?
this.
yeah. Screen Media.
Yeah, Screen Media. It's not MGM. MGM's not putting this
Wow,
baby out.
yeah.
Yeah. that scene where he kidnaps the girl, it's almost good.
Yeah.
I do like the reveal that it's like, where is everyone? And then like you slowly realize they're all under like the trucks and
Yeah.
everything.
Right.
I do like that it's from the car's point of view. Not as good as Jurassic Park, but I like scenes like that where like you're in a structure and the things outside. they went a little overboard with him throwing the truck with one arm because
Yeah.
it didn't. I was like, okay, the truck flipping too looks so good because it's practical and everything, and this is TV budget CGI truck flip. It doesn't look as good.
It's so bad. Like when it happens in the background, it's
Yeah.
awful.
yeah, but I do like him like licking the window and all that.
All those callbacks. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff,
and it's the
yeah.
same guy, the same creeper.
Yes, he came back for it, and fans like him. Apparently, he's like Joe was telling me he met him, and he was like a really cool dude.
I want to meet him.
Yeah. So yeah, he ends up taking her for some reason. I do like that the asshole bike guy. It's like the whole truck is booby trapped. Don't try anything. I'm gonna put my head in front of this very obvious hole. And it's just
Yeah.
spike in his head. And I do like when the creeper comes back. And he's like, he's got a body. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
I wasn't dead. But again, like the part I liked about too is that he had Derry's eyes from the first one, but then this one kind of ruins it because he gets caught in his own trap. Which, by the way, his eye
Oh,
bubbling
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? This looks like a cartoon.
Yeah.
This looks like
it
they
did.
took like
Does
the
look pretty
warp
bad.
effect, and they're like,
Yeah.
ah!
It does look pretty bad.
It does.
Although it did lead to a funny scene where he's trying to like use the spear, and he's like trying to aim. He's like, he's,
Yeah.
like,
Oh,
switching
yeah. That's
eyes.
true. Yeah.
He's still doing a good job. He's doing his best.
Yeah.
He's doing
I
his
think he did
best.
fantastic. Yeah. I really
Yeah.
enjoy him still in this movie.
Yeah.
But then it leads to like this big finale on the road, which is mostly green screened, and you can see
Right.
the green bleeding
Through
through
the
on
hair.
people's hair.
Yep, I saw that.
No. And on one of the trucks, the license plate is "Be killing you."
I saw that. I'm like, okay,
That is so funny. I didn't realize
be
that.
killing you,
And at this point, what's that guy's name again? The actor from Monster Squad.
Stan Shaw.
He looks like he's dressed in like the creeper's outfit.
He does.
Just saying.
They
He's
kind of
wearing the
mimic him a
same
little bit.
outfit.
He's like the
Yeah.
reverse.
Have we gotten to the part where they leave the sign yet?
Oh yeah, that was before this. What? Okay. We forgot. Sorry. There's so many subplots in this movie.
there is
You
way
have
too
no
much.
idea.
There's
Yeah.
the subplot of the creeper's previous hand.
Yeah.
And if you touch it,
Talk to me.
It'll
It's exactly
it's like talk to me.
Yeah.
Wow, did talk to me rip this off? If you touch it, it will tell you what its origin is.
Mm-hmm.
But no one will ever say what the origin is. And
Right.
it'll maybe tell you how to kill him, but no one will ever say how it gets
Infuriates
killed.
me. It absolutely.
And they have to take
infuriates
turns like touching the hand because it make you float in the air and
It
stuff.
is talk to
your
me.
Eyes go back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's so weird. So yeah, they have that. And then the mom, like, you're right, she like writes a note for him.
Can I please tell you the first
Yes.
time I saw this,
Yes.
watching this with my sister on my birthday, because his reaction reading the sign. Okay, so he sees the sign. First of all, why are you writing a sign to the creeper? Why? Like, why? It says, "We know what you are," and he goes like this.
It's so
And all
bad.
we're saying is this. Please put this over the clip if you can. I can't. Wait, I can't even do it as a straight face. I can't read. Because it exactly looks like what he's thinking. I can't read.
Dude, that brings so much comedy to that scene.
And I
now.
feel like even at this point there was something wrong with his eye, so he really can't read it.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's like real upset that they know what he is. And
Yeah,
so, like,
and the hand is there, and he
Yeah.
crushes it, and just has a total bitch
like,
fit. I'm sorry, excuse my language.
Oh, it's
and then
so
they
bad.
CGI his mandibles because they know if they do a close up, they couldn't
Yeah.
build that
Yep.
puppet anymore. So they're like, put it far away and CGI it. Okay. That was the most ridiculous scene. I'm like, am I supposed to feel bad for the creeper? What's happening here?
I kind of did at that point.
Yeah,
Because
for
what
sure.
if he really is like he was a person and now he's this whatever gargoyle thing?
Well, then he wouldn't be like
No, I
winking and
know.
finger guns. I don't know. If I'm like a tragic beast, I'd be like, I wouldn't be like, hey, buddy. Ah.
Maybe he gets caught up in the thirst, man.
Yeah.
He gets lost in the sauce.
It's like some vampires, they get too into it and then later on they regret when they were
Yes.
younger vampires. Is that what we're supposed to take from
That's
that?
exactly it.
Possibly.
So then we get to the green screen finale. Green screen palooza. Again, I would have rewritten all of this when I realized what the budget was. So yeah, they're awkwardly green screen in the car. I do like that they're shooting the car and it just ricochets directly back.
Yep.
These two are giving great performances, though.
They are.
Giving
Yeah,
it
They
their
are.
all.
I wish everything around them didn't look like shit
Yeah.
because they are really trying to act. And
Yes.
who would have thought Sergeant Tubbs would become such a big character?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially
Yeah,
17
exactly.
years later when he's very older.
Yeah.
Even though it's been a day.
If you don't watch them in order, you would never remember.
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And then the creeper shooting like bombs out like it's Mario Kart. That
Yeah.
was weird.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, the digital explosion on the road.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like that's on par with an explosion that I can do.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I do like that they finally get the Gatling gun and how it just like backfires. Just the guy shooting and he
Yeah.
just murders himself.
Dude, oh my god. Brutal.
And then we get to the whole like showdown between him and the creeper, and this was a little confusing. So the creeper jumps up in the air with his wings and his axe, and he's moving in slow motion.
Yep.
But then Stan Shaw's moving regular speed,
Uh-huh.
like moving, trying to fix the gun. But I'm like, wait, so is the creeper just purposely moving really slow? What the fuck is this? And he just kind of hovers in the air for a long time. Like, what is this ending? And it doesn't
why?
work. He slices his head.
Yep.
And so he won't return for this sequel or another movie, just like the Monster Squad.
Yeah.
He
sad.
won't come.
I was sadder when he died in the Monster
Yeah.
Squad.
Me
He was
too.
better in the Monster Squad.
His
try.
monologues in this movie.
Yeah.
So many.
But yeah, then I guess he just gets away, right?
Yeah, he just flies off, man.
He just flies off.
And then the kid gets on the bus.
That was the funny. So when
And,
you let me know that this was a prequel, interquel, I was like, how is this going to tie into 2? Or is it going to end on the farm? What's it going to do? And then he's like, hey, baby, I like you now. And then that girl's just like, I've been half asleep this whole movie.
Yep.
Because that girl was pretty, but yeah, she seemed like she was just sleepwalking through this role. I mean, granted, it is Jeepers Creepers 3. How excited could you get?
It's true.
But yeah, he puts his sports coat on. He's like, time to get on the Jeepers Creepers 2
Yeah,
bus.
they go to the sports game.
He makes a note about how he
Whatever
was,
sport it is.
you know, I think he makes a point to say he was going to stay at someone's house an extra day. And I think that explains why he's not on the bus in the second
Okay,
one.
thank you. Because I'm like, okay, so this could have been a great whatever
Yeah.
intertwining of movies, but he's not even in the second movie. He's not even someone on the bus.
I think he has a line saying that, like, wherever they're driving to, he has, like, an aunt and uncle that he was going to stay with.
Who cares? Why even intertwine it then? Why? Okay, and also we forgot in the beginning, there's another narrator.
Yes.
Another narrator.
Yep.
Okay. So we're getting on this bus, which is a few days after Derry's death.
Yes.
Okay. And then what happens?
And then she reads the end of Jeepers Creepers 2, which I guess is Jeepers Creepers 3 now. And then it's her basically writing her memoirs. She's now in her 40s. And she's like, and I'm gonna be waiting for him.
Looking in the camera.
Looking
Yeah,
right in the
directly in
camera.
the
I'm like, is
camera.
he standing in the room? Like,
You didn't say who it is though.
it's Gina Phillips.
Gina
Yeah.
Phillips,
Trish.
baby.
Like,
From the first movie.
I don't know why
Coming
she's
back.
like, she should be like, by the way, I'm writing this from the barn where the thing is hung up.
is she?
No, she should be.
Yeah.
That would make more
Yes.
sense.
Or why even tell us anything?
Yeah, that's
What is
a
she
good
even
point.
writing?
Why didn't Ray Wise
Yeah,
just-
why is she writing a fucking memoir?
Is it a memoir or is it a newspaper? I don't know.
I don't know what she's writing to be a live
She's not
journal.
writing anything.
Is
She's
it a live
typing on a typewriter because this movie loves 1950s. For
No,
some
she's
reason.
on a
Is it a
computer.
type-
She's
Oh,
on
is it a
she's on
computer? Okay.
I don't know why Ray Wise. Getting back to 2, I don't know why Ray Wise didn't just like chop the creeper's body up and put it in cement
I would have just
and shipped
burned
it off different places.
That's
I
the-
thought I think he was just wanted to kill it. I think he was ready to do it himself, which I would have loved to see.
Well, the best way to kill it is when it's asleep and
Yeah.
not can't fight back.
throw it in an
But you
incinerator.
Huh?
So, I don't know.
I like your idea though. Cut it up, put it in cement, and ship it off,
Ship it off. It'll take forever for it to get back together.
or put it at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah, it's a stupid ending. I don't even know why this needed to be like. Does this make 2 better? Does it explain? Not
Is
really.
it just like legit, just fan service?
Like,
at that
imagine if
point?
you watch this chronologically. If you binge them, and it's like you watch Super Creepers 1, 3, and 2, it's like, wow, this is one big story where it gets real shit in the middle
Yeah.
and looks terrible, and then it gets kind of okay at the end.
And this was when I noticed that Derry was wearing that yellow shirt that was the same as this varsity jacket. or whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm still confused.
I think they mentioned he lives in like whatever town they were going to.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obviously we have two big Jeepers Creepers fans here, and this movie didn't do it for him.
I'm frustrated.
It
I
didn't. Wasn't worth the wait.
No, but can't get any worse, right?
And then this was it this year or last year?
Last year.
2022, yeah.
Yeah, 2022. A new movie came out.
Really? What was that new movie, Tony?
Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Oh.
Now, the best thing I could say off the bat this movie had going for it was that, as far as I know, the director's never done anything too bad.
Yeah, it was his directorial debut, so he's got a clean sheet, baby.
This isn't his debut.
That's what. Are you sure?
No, this guy directed the Iron Sky movies.
Maybe the writer.
Oh,
Maybe
the
the
writer.
writer.
Because
Yeah.
they're on
Okay.
his-
I did look
Yeah.
at.
Because there was controversy with this, because how much backlash there was for 3. They're like, is he involved? He's involved. I think Victor Salva gets a little bit of residual stuff from this,
Right.
but he wasn't directly involved with this.
So they
Yeah.
got the rights for this movie.
Yeah.
And MGM sued them
Oh.
because there was something in like the contracts where they were supposed to get like the rights weren't able to get like sold or whatever
Okay.
to this company. I can't remember who sued who, but they got sued for making this movie.
Oh.
That's all I know. So
Wow.
yeah, go down that rabbit hole. It's pretty wild.
So I've never actually seen the Iron Sky movies, but I've seen the trailers, and they are goofy comedies about Nazis on the moon, or as the very not American actress in this movie says,
Nazis are camped out on the moon. Elvis lives.
Wow.
I don't think any of them are American.
No, I don't think so.
none of them
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
but those movies have like digital sets and everything, and that works for a comedy.
Yeah.
That works for a comedy. Not so much a very obvious digital set comedy. I'll buy into it. It's fun.
Could I please read what the writer's bio is?
Yes.
Just the first sentence
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, go ahead.
So, Jeepers Creepers Reborn got him thirsty to create more high-risk reboots of notorious IP.
Was this high risk? What was high risk?
I
about?
just think, like, how much money do you have? Like, what a pretentious thing.
What was high risk about this?
I just think because of the background of it.
Maybe this is the least risky of the 4, to
well,
be honest.
it tanked everybody in this movie's career. So like
Probably.
yeah.
Am I the one who told you about it? You like didn't know about it, right? Until we hung out.
Yeah, you were
Yeah.
the one that told me about it, and I went home like whenever the next and watched it.
So
Yeah.
after
And you talked about it on the panel.
yes.
At Too
yeah,
Many
that's
Games.
right.
Joey-
That
That was like the
I
day you
regret
saw
telling
it.
you about this
I didn't even
movie.
know it was
Yes.
even getting made because
Yeah.
the last thing I heard was Cathedral,
Yep.
and that never got made. And everyone was like, "Oh yeah, it's dead in the water." And then fast forward 2 years, you told me there was a fourth one.
Yeah.
And I went home immediately and watched it. And you have a bad track record of telling me movies because we watched probably one of the second worst movie I've ever seen in my life, Return of the Moonwalker.
Return of the Moonwalker.
Just a zombified Michael Jackson movie.
And where can we find more about that movie? On patreon.com/hackthemovies. We did a Tubi Tuesday on it. Yeah, I love so after Return of the Moonwalker, you're probably like, oof, what a bad movie.
Yeah.
Time to watch Jeepers Creepers 4.
Yeah.
This is another one I was not excited for. You knew about it.
Uh-huh. Of course I knew about
I don't
it.
think you were excited for it.
No, I watched it in March.
Yeah, what was your takeaway with it?
I will save that for the ending.
Okay. Okay.
For the answer to the what is the worst Jeepers Creepers
Okay,
movie.
well, I
I'm going to
guess-
say that.
I guess we might have a hint of what it is. Yeah, I woke up this morning. Woke up early.
Yeah. You texted me and said, "Hey, I'm just waking up. I'm gonna watch Jeepers Creepers 4," and I said, "What a wonderful way to wake up."
And I was very excited because both of you guys have been warning me about this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've talked nonstop
Yeah,
about it.
you Snapchatted me as you were rewatching it last
Yes.
night, just screaming at me.
I
about-
sent you the same thing.
Yeah, I got a nice video message from Joey. And then you texted me, "Are we still on for today?" And I'm like, "Oh, are you reconsidering?"
No.
the
I just wanted
episode?"
to make sure. Before I put Jeepers Creepers 4 on.
Yeah.
So I
Good
put it
call.
on this morning. Well, yeah. Okay. Off to a bad start. I go to rent it because I purchase all my films legally. And Amazon Prime is like, there's an error with this. I'm like, and I texted you both. I'm like, we're off to a great start. We're off to a great start.
They were trying to warn
The
you.
universe was like, don't do it. Actually, last night on Instagram, I took a nice selfie of me. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to know what I look like, what life was like before Jeepers Creepers 3 and 4.
Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Great photo.
And I watched it this morning.
Mm.
And I have some things to say.
Yeah. I have not been the same since. I've
So-
lost a lot of innocence and youth.
So, the thing I just said about 3, where it's like, if you can't afford to do certain stuff, maybe rewrite it to fit
Yeah.
your budget. This movie didn't learn any of those lessons. This movie didn't learn any of those lessons.
No, it went the opposite way, Tony.
You know what I feel really bad about? Whenever I see Dee Wallace in a modern movie.
I forgot she was in this.
Because, like, Dee Wallace, like, E.T., Cujo,
Yep.
so many other good movies. You usually associate her with, like, great movies. And then
Yeah.
these days, you're like, direct-to-video schlock. And I'm like, Dee Wallace, I love you. Stop doing these movies.
But yeah, when I saw her in the movie, I was like, oh, they dragged her into this.
Yes. So, yeah, the beginning of the movie, by the way, this was shot during COVID.
Yep.
They can't use that excuse. I'm sorry.
They shot for a while during
Mm-hmm.
COVID.
Yeah.
Like 2020, then 2021, and then
Yeah.
it was all over the place.
But here's the thing. The beginning of the movie is basically the beginning of the first movie, just with an old couple.
and you know what?
Yes.
It looks pretty good.
But
No, it looks like shit. But I was like, okay, this looks horribly green screened inside. And then the creeper's car shows up. Doesn't look like
It's a totally different car.
It's a
Yeah.
totally different one because they filmed this
Or truck, rather.
overseas and they couldn't get the truck there.
that's why.
And apparently,
like,
I was
Finland
looking
or
up why
something.
did Jonathan Brecht not come back, and
Yeah,
apparently, whatever acting union that's there, he wasn't a member of, so there was something weird with that. It wasn't
Okay.
like I think he was asked to be in it. Like I don't think they just shoot him away.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like some kind of like legal issue.
I don't think they would shoo him away. I think
No.
he would.
Shoot them away.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I don't know if we should spoil it yet.
no. I want to talk about So this opening.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, this is really cheesy. By the way, I knew it was COVID because I'm pretty sure you could see the truck driver in the car, and it's just a guy wearing a mask.
Get
No
out of here.
way.
I'll pause it and freeze frame it, but it's clearly just a guy, not the creeper.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Well,
I knew
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, this is super cheesy. Like this is a really bad. I knew it was a reboot. I'm like, this is a really bad remake of 1. Why does this look so bad? And then you find out it's playing on a phone. It's an Unsolved Mysteries episode.
Yeah.
Well, a knockoff. And I'm like, oh, that's why it looked cheesy and so fake. The rest of the movie, and before I could finish that sentence, it was a different, even worse green screen
Yes.
card. I'm like,
Different color correction.
So much
different-
worse.
Like, yeah, it's
and I'm
so
like,
bad.
oh, is this also going to be a movie within a movie? Is this like Scream 4 where there's like 3 fake outs?
Yes. Oh, that would have been good.
I'm like, oh no. Oh no, this is the movie.
I just I was watching the intro, and maybe it's just because I'm a moron. I was like, what the fuck is this? This is the first movie. And I felt like the first time I watched it, I felt like it went on forever. And I was like, dude, if this is like a fake thing in a movie, it's like 15 minutes long. When does the movie start?
I know.
I was so confused.
And then these actors, I'm sorry. I sent you the trivia. I sent him the thing.
What?
That apparently they worked with an accent coach. I'm sorry, accent coach? Maybe it wasn't on you. But
He had
you
a
didn't do-
lisp.
Huh?
He had a
He
lisp.
did. have
No,
a
not.
lisp.
It's not even the lisp. They are clearly like English actors,
Yeah.
and they cannot do a American
They
accent.
are bad. Him especially.
He is
Bad.
dipping in and out of
Yeah.
his accent. I think the second movie was like Canadian.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, and I think I read the story like he would charge them $1 if they used their Canadian accent.
Wow.
If the director did that for this movie, he'd be a billionaire.
Yeah.
This really happened. Somewhere in this area, actually.
Come on, there's a reason those things were unsold.
Because it's more the guy. Like the girl is pretty bad. Like she's trying to sound American, but she hits her A's a little weird. Like again, Nazi. And I'm like, that's not how Americans say it.
Yeah.
But no, his accent, it just bleeds in for
Bad.
a while.
And she looks like they've been filming that for a very long time.
Yeah,
Like
she
her
just
lipstick.
looks-
She looks like
yeah.
she had like licked a, I don't know.
Yeah, she looks like
pop.
Katie McGrath.
Who's that?
She's Lena Luthor in Supergirl, but she's in Jurassic World. She's like the girl who gets eaten by the pterodactyl
yeah.
and then eaten by
Love
the
that scene.
Yeah.
So scary.
This girl looks like that girl, just a younger version of that girl.
Okay.
For a minute, I'm like, is that Kate? I'm like, no, that would not be Kate. Like, she could do better than this. I know Supergirl had bad effects, but nowhere near this level. Yeah, so they are going to Horror Hound, which confused me because there is a real Horror Hound convention,
Yeah.
Horror Hound Weekend.
And it's the same logo that was on the shirt.
Was Horror Hound affiliated with this movie?
Why? If they were, why?
They-
Why would they
would
let
have
this
to.
happen?
Yeah, they would
Because
have
this
to. if it's the
isn't
same
what
logo.
Horror Hound is. They made this. They were.
But before that,
Yeah.
she had to pull over to throw up. And she
'Cause-
gets a phone call from one of her friends.
Her sassy gay friend?
Yes.
Token gay guy.
Yes.
Yep.
He reminded me. Remember the old YouTube series, Sassy Gay Friend?
Yeah, of course.
You oh,
Classic
okay. So you
stuff.
gotta watch. So they took like famous literature stories.
Yeah.
And it's like this problem would have solved if they had a sassy gay friend. And it's like Romeo
Oh,
and
look that
Juliet.
up.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's her about to drink the poison, and a gay guy comes out. And he's like,
What are you doing? What are you doing?
it's just him lecturing all these people and fixing their life. This guy felt like he was doing sassy gay
Yep.
friend.
Yeah.
Yep,
So
1000%.
while she's talking to him on the phone,
Yeah.
the boyfriend's in the car, and he's like talking into his phone. He's like, I don't like to tap. And then he just starts talking into the phone for a voice message for his mom.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why?
It's so
telling her
bad.
he's gonna propose. Horrible ring, by the way.
I just hate
I
these
didn't-
like
sorry,
Gen
Casey.
Z
I was
things.
too distracted by the CGI White Raven.
Oh yeah, that's
why
right.
white too with red eyes? And then the gay
That's
friend,
creepy.
he pulls up randomly. He doesn't even pull off on the side of the road. He pulls up into the
Literally
The
in
He goes
the woods
really far into the woods.
with a nice car.
Oh, so we forgot to mention. I'm not even going to read the back of whatever.
Oh.
We forgot to mention. This is basically the Wes Craven's new nightmare of Jeepers Creepers movies.
Basically, yeah, that is.
Or the.
That's very nice of
no,
you
I'm
to
sorry.
say.
I'm sorry. I don't want to compare it. That movie's really good.
Yeah,
please.
that
And I
movie
have
is
a
great.
commentary track with it with Jessica on Patreon. This is more like the Hellraiser Hell World of Jeepers Creepers movies.
Yes.
Where they make a point to say that the 3 movies were
Oh,
loosely
right.
based on real events, but they're movies in this universe. And this is the real creeper.
Yeah.
So, but then so some of the stuff happened. Like he's crawling out of a farm in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the farmer Ray Wise character just wasn't there that day, the day the creeper woke up. And he's like tiny.
He's
Very
very
tiny, yeah.
It reminded me of Wishmaster. In the beginning of
yep.
Wishmaster, Vern Troyer, Mini-Me, played like the baby Wishmaster that comes out of the thing. And I thought they were going to do more with that because I remember seeing a baby stroller on the cover. I thought we were going to
Yeah.
get So I thought there was a baby creeper.
A baby creeper.
Because when I saw the picture of what the creeper looked like, he had a big head. And I remember showing it to Joe Lascola, who really likes like the previous 2 movies. He's like, what the fuck is that? And I'm like, I think it's baby creeper because he's tiny with the big head. But then I was like, then I watched the movie. I'm like, oh no, the creeper just looks like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, the creeper just looks so bad.
It's awful.
He eats the sassy gay friend.
Yes,
Yep.
he does.
And I think I'd have to pause. But his mandibles are CGI. But I think they show the top of his head that shows that there's still mandibles attached to his head when they shouldn't be. So I guess
Oh,
they
no
built the
way.
mask and then did so he has double mandibles now. It looks so bad.
Oh my god, I didn't even notice
I
that.
have to pause it. So yeah, so what's the story? They go to a psychic.
No.
Oh, they need
they
directions.
need directions, so they stop
Yeah.
at a store, and of course it's like a creepy like
Voodoo.
yeah, you're gonna put a curse on you, son. You know,
Yeah.
and she pulls out a map, right?
And he's playing around with this pole thing.
Yep.
Yeah, a harpoon.
That does come back later.
Yes.
Yep.
Whoa.
Yeah, the big harpoon. They're in Louisiana, right?
Yep. Louisiana.
I've been to Louisiana. This doesn't look like Louisiana. I'm sorry, this doesn't look like Louisiana. I'm gonna go back to Louisiana. Are there any good horror conventions to go to in Louisiana? Not the one in this movie, but
No.
like real ones.
This one, I can't wait to talk about it.
It's bad.
Yeah, and I like that the psychic lady is like, congratulations. Oh, neither of you know that you're pregnant? I'm like, lady,
Oh yeah. She said like, oh, he doesn't know. Oh, neither of you know. And it's
Yeah.
just like, it's literally like if I hired somebody like back in high school to like act in one of my high school
Yes.
movies.
yeah, she's
It's-
pretty rough.
it's
The acting
bad.
is rough
It's so
in
bad.
this. Like, the main two might be okay with their real accent, but their American accents are not helping them.
I was surprised to see some of them had other credits
Yeah.
because that's that.
I mean, they're young. I mean, it's hard
no,
to judge
the,
them.
like the psychic woman.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was
Oh yeah, I have
surprised she had
no idea.
credits.
Yeah.
They might be good in other things.
Yes, exactly, like what you said.
Look,
With
you
their
know,
real accent.
I was good in Mummy Cop. I wasn't that good in Thugs versus Dinosaurs. We all have our bad days,
Yes.
okay?
I'm just like, did they sign on to this movie because they knew it was a Jeepers Creepers movie, or just
Did they not know what the budget was?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Actually, what was the budget? Because I tried to find it and I couldn't find it.
I couldn't find it
All I
either.
know is that it made $5 million at the box office, which
That is-
shocks me.
That is more than I
Yeah,
thought it
that
would.
way more.
Mm-hmm.
That's about $5 million more.
So yeah, they go to the horror convention. Oh wait, no, before they go to the horror convention, they go to the hotel.
Dude, this fucking
And there's
scene.
the sexy outfit try-on cosplay scene. Was Warner Brothers... all right, so I was a little confused. Because I was like, is Warner Brothers affiliated with this? Because she wears the legit Harley Quinn costume.
Yeah.
Like, is it legit or is it just like a
Yeah,
knockoff?
actually, no.
The only thing that was different was the hair.
Because it does say Joker on the back of
Yeah.
the jacket.
Oh, wait, no, because Edward Scissorhands is Fox. Never mind. So they're just doing characters from other movies. So she does Harley Quinn, does the makeup for Harley Quinn, and then he's like, try the other one. So she goes back in and does her makeup all over again
Must have been there.
and does the worst Edward Scissorhands
Yeah.
impression I've ever seen. She's doing the robot. I'm like,
It's so bad.
I don't think she's actually watched the movie. I think she
Yeah.
just looked at the cover where he's like this.
She's not a fan of these things in the movie.
Okay.
That's why I'm like, why are they together? Like, yeah, you could opposites attract, but she
Oh,
really
yeah, and she's
despises
super mean
this.
to him, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
making
I'm
fun of
not wearing
everything.
any costume, and then she does it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love what she settles on, I'm sure. But
Yeah,
still,
she does Freddy Krueger also, but then she settles
Oh, yeah.
on Jennifer from Jennifer's Body.
Yes. But these conventions, they're not all about cosplay, and there's such an emphasis on it.
Yeah,
in
okay,
this
that
movie.
bothered me. Again, it's not even a convention. He says it's like
Yeah.
Coachella.
And he
for
doesn't
horror.
even like
Stop.
dress up.
He wears the
either.
horror hound shirt.
Yeah, that
But
was
you're
printed
right.
that day.
You're
for
right.
sure.
You know, we go to conventions and there's a bunch of people.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not the one we went to, but usually there's a bunch of people and like there are people in cosplay. Then there's just people wearing regular outfits.
Yes.
In this, everyone's in a costume.
Yeah.
And it's annoying because it's either like a name brand, very recognizable character,
Right.
or some shit they slap together.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and they're like, wow, it's so crowded. There's literally like a handful of people.
Yeah, it's not that. It looks like the Shady Brook Farm
Yes, yeah.
or the one near me that's actually closer to me. You know, either one I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
take Joey on to go to that cornfield.
I want to come.
Yeah, of course. We'll make a day out of it. Joey will be my date. We'll go to
Yeah,
the
okay.
cornfield.
I can handle this.
We'll wear our matching shirts.
Yeah, dude, that's a
Yes.
great idea. Can we please do that? Totally down.
You should make one with you. We'll just wear each other's shirts.
Yeah. Can we talk about the line that we talked about?
Okay,
What?
yes.
This is bad.
She screwed, either the writer screwed up or she screwed up, but it went all the way through to the post-production and it made it
To
into the
release,
release.
yeah.
So yes, what does she say to him?
She says, I like something like, I hope I filled your femboy fantasies.
Which doesn't make, Joey C is a femboy expert, by the way.
Okay.
Doesn't really make sense
True.
because the, Joey C, what is a femboy?
You know,
Yeah,
so
explain
a
I'm
femboy,
surprised you
I
didn't
do
wear that.
remember that line. and then they start making it.
a femboy is a man who dresses up in, feminine clothes.
Uh-huh.
You know, and she says, "I hope I fulfilled your femboy fantasies." This guy just laid on the couch
Yeah.
and didn't dress up anyhow. What I think the script said or should have said, or she just fucked up, was, "I hope I filled your femdom fantasies."
Feminine domination.
Yes.
Oh, I thought like fanboy.
Or
maybe that.
Or that.
Somehow it turned into femboy, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I was like, he's not a femboy, and I know. I subscribe to the official Joey C, so I know what it is, and I'm
Thank
just
you.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's
That's
not
not.
it.
I had to rewind it, and then
Yeah.
like 20 minutes later, you texted me, and I was like, I wasn't crazy. That was the that was the wrong line.
Now that I've satisfied your fanboy fantasies, what are you gonna wear?
I'm
Man.
into financial domination.
Ah, yes, I do like some.
I don't like to be
findom.
dominated. I dominate. Hey, you pay pigs.
Yes, that's right. Patreon.com/hackthemovies.
You dirty
Nice.
pay pigs. Give me your money.
Stop
Patreon.com.
It's very accurate. That's what they're called. Pay pigs.
That it really is.
I'm just like, how have we not made a movie? How did this get made?
Well, but let's try some
But
of that
at
financial
this-
domination. Hey, pay pigs. Patreon.
Yeah. But at this point, we do find out that it is confirmed that she is pregnant.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And she's having visions of the creeper and the ceremony, which never really happened.
Never
in the real world.
happened. Well, it just didn't get that far, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That doesn't even happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
So
I mean, it's alluded to definitely, but
yeah. So the creeper is reborn, thus the title.
yep.
And he made it to the horror convention. They win a contest to go to the creeper's mansion.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the thing about, well, at least the first,
Well, it's like an escape room sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I haven't
not.
seen. I haven't seen the escape room movies, like the official one. There's a
Yeah,
bunch of movies
I
called
haven't
escape
seen
room, but
them,
there's
yeah.
like newer movies. I heard they're good. The thing that was cool about the first two movies was kind of like the whole road aspect of it and that setting.
Yeah.
And now they're like, we're gonna put you in a spooky haunted house. I'm like, that doesn't really feel like creeper to me, to be honest. I kind of like the whole highway feel of those previous movies.
Right.
Yeah, so they have to go to this. Is it even yeah, I guess it was almost being filmed. It was going to be a reality show. And I'm like,
Yeah.
cool. You know what? The movie almost won me here.
Dude,
And I was like, yes, Halloween Resurrection. I'm in. Let the dangertainment begin, baby.
Trick or treat.
It's so
Trick or
good 'cause
treat,
the-
motherfucker. And then that plot line dies real quick.
Yeah.
The cameras get destroyed. I'm like, oh.
dude, the camera that's like $100 camera.
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
not a very
bad.
good camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like this this marriage proposal.
Oh, this is
we
nice on a very real cemetery.
Okay. Again, I knew the directors had some experience with digital backgrounds. The digital backgrounds in this are overboard.
And that's not fair. Lane,
No, really, I love her. She's deep. I get it.
Dude, it's like they couldn't even film it. If it was in grass, they'd be like, oh, green screen.
Literally,
It's baffling.
it was like Tommy Wiseau. Why is
Yes.
that? What's
Yeah.
his name?
Tommy
Like, why
Wiseau.
can't we just
Wiseau,
film
yeah.
in an alley? No, we need to film in a green screen. Because
No,
even
no,
in
no,
the
the-
psychic place, it's,
The alley they built the set. It was the rooftop.
The rooftop
And they're
of the
like, I think
city.
people were like, there are rooftops. No, we green screen it. Like, but we could just okay.
yes,
Yes.
It was exactly that. Because even in the psychic shop, it's a green
It's
screen.
a green screen. It's insane.
God, yeah.
Why?
I don't know, but I think it was made in the Unreal Engine. It looked like video game, like someone
It
could
did.
design
It did.
something in the video.
Yeah.
The best thing I could say about it is that the backgrounds are tracking with the camera.
Yes.
The backgrounds move organically with the way the camera does. They don't look real at all. Everyone looks fake. I'm like, this is.
Yeah.
I texted you and I went, holy shit, these are noticeable. These are, I take everything back I said about the Too Many Stars and Jeepers Creepers too. I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, so he scoops up and kidnaps the girl. They
Right
run,
before.
Right as he's proposing.
right as he's
Yeah,
proposing.
which sucks.
And they run all the way to the mansion. It's like the beginning of the first Resident Evil game.
That's right.
Only looks faker somehow. Somehow it looks faker than a PS1 graphic. And then, I don't know, the movie, honestly, to sum up the rest of the movie, it's just the creeper hunting them in the house.
Yeah.
Literally just in different rooms of the house. And
Yes.
then the creeper takes the girl. I can't even remember her name, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
She's pregnant. Obviously, she gets laid down on like a sacrificial table,
Which is also CGI.
yes, which
They
is
couldn't
a CGI
get like a
table.
styrofoam rock table to.
Yeah.
Bad. And he begins to cut her stomach very dramatically slow to presumably get the womb to get life or something. And then she like crawls through a hole.
Yeah.
And then she falls through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Like she's in the ground and then falls through the ceiling.
Those are all things you could do with a baby. Get stabbed, crawl, fall through the ceiling.
It's just, God, the creeper looks so bad.
He's not intimidating at all.
He's
He
not
looks like one of the cosplayers that are there.
Yes, which I guess works a little bit if they're like, "Hey, nice costume, buddy." But I don't even feel like we
and
get
the way,
a lot of that.
sorry, we're already past this, but
Look.
the way he gets to the Horror Hound Festival,
Oh, he
like they're doing a countdown, and like every
crashes.
single second is paused by him driving, and it's so I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
just get to number one.
kamikazes into the power station and wipes out the power for everything.
And they're like, "What's wrong with the music?" Don't worry, I have the record.
Vinyl.
Yeah, I have vinyl.
He literally, he doesn't even, I don't even think he says like we ran out of power, we ran out of Wi-Fi is what he says,
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
Which
And
is
then-
so silly. This
They
is so
didn't-
Gen Z, it's insane.
They didn't want to license the song.
Oh, you're right, they didn't license the song.
So I don't know what the fuck this song is. I don't know if it's a
Oh,
real song
yeah.
or one they made for the movie, but now it's Jeepers, you're looking at me with those peepers.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
what is
bad.
this song?
Jeepers, baby. Yeah, those hungry eyes.
Yeah.
They couldn't even get the fucking song, man.
It's I think the only thing I like is when he walks into the room and he spears the guy against the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
What does he want? So they added this whole thing where like people are offering them as sacrifices. There's now
Right.
a cult for the creeper, and they offer
Yeah,
sacrifices.
and it was the psychic woman
yes.
because they set it up that this couple was going to win this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What does the creeper want with the baby?
The life force
I don't know.
of the womb.
Doesn't he just get that from eating people's bodies already?
You know,
You would
he eats an arm to replace his arm that gets
Yeah.
ripped off.
Yeah.
But
I
I'm
thought that was
assuming,
cool.
Yeah,
like,
that was
He
cool.
put it right on.
yeah, like, does eating the womb like extend the 20? Fucking, like,
Yeah.
28 days?
Yeah, when does this take place, by the way? Is it
Or
23
days,
years
I mean.
after?
No, well,
that's what I assume.
it
but-
probably is, but keep in mind those movies are movies
in that universe,
so the
yeah.
timeline could be different. You forgot? You forgot?
So wait, but this could be 2023 because the first one is.
It could be. It
is
could be.
2000 pretty much.
It could be.
So yeah.
Which
Okay.
I would have rather just see elderly Ray Wise fight the creeper.
Oh my
again.
gosh, 100%.
That would have been sick.
Yeah.
Or the Gina or
and
Trisha come
Gina,
back.
yeah.
Oh my god. Or
yeah.
the real psychic, just have her in it.
Yeah, but isn't it so much better to see a man in a rubber monster mask creeping around a spooky haunted house?
He's not scary.
It's so
Except for when they go
bad.
outside and it's a CGI, like, it looks like an old Windows
Dude, we didn't even
95.
talk about the worst effect.
What's the worst effect for
When
you?
that thing falls from the ceiling or from the roof of the
Yes.
mansion. It is so.
Can we,
Oh my
can
god!
we talk about their plan to kill the creeper?
Oh.
She's like, I'm gonna go outside and lure him out with my baby. And then I'm gonna stab him in the eyes. Didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
And then just hopefully
This
he,
thing
he
lands.
wanders into position and just hopefully you can get this harpoon attached to like a
Yes.
weather vane.
The only thing that comes back.
Yeah. And then hopefully it falls and lands in the direction. I'm like, wow, there's a lot of coincidences for this plan to work out.
Yeah.
That harpoon effect is the worst effect
is
I've ever seen
Abysmal.
in a movie.
And then crows eat the creeper
Yep.
and then fly away. And
Do
speaking
you
of
remember? You got to talk about
which part?
when the cops come.
The part after this?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Sorry.
The cops show up, and again, the effects look like a college kid in 2011 did them.
Like they just had a like a siren light.
The
basically.
worst ever.
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
but like
bad.
the cars don't look real. The cops
No.
are clearly not there. The sun's coming. I'm like, this. Why does this look so bad? You can make a really cheap monster movie and not
Yeah.
have it look this fake. It's
Yep.
and it's not an artistic choice because there's too much real on location stuff and set stuff. It's just. I feel like the guy like maybe owned the software and was like, I
Yeah.
can just do this all on my
Yeah.
computer.
Is it really that much cheaper to film something in front of a green screen than it is? Like you're already out filming the festival shit. Like, just set up a headstone and film it in a
And it
pretend
looks
it's a
like they built
graveyard.
a tiny cemetery set, and then that's it. It didn't need to look like a ridiculous cemetery. It could have just been a tiny cemetery.
Dude, like I said, the guy could be like in a Walmart and they'd green screen it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand.
And then the ending, I think the crows throw up the creeper and he rebuilds himself.
But before that,
And then the girl's eyes turn black. So is she evil?
Did she get possessed from the
Third
unfinished
movie?
ritual?
Does
or is
she-
it like in the third movie when their eyes? I don't know.
Maybe does she have a baby creeper now? Did he turn his
a baby creeper.
Maybe she has a baby creeper.
Yeah.
And then I forgot there were 2 crow eating scenes. So say the ending again.
Yeah, they throw up the creeper at the end.
What?
And now he's pink.
And he looks
Yeah,
at,
yeah.
I don't like seeing the creeper pink. I don't like
Pink
seeing
creeper.
monsters with flesh colors. I'm like, that looks off. Don't like it.
The very first time I watched this, the review I wrote after it was that, like, are we purposely trying to, excuse my language, shit on this franchise? Like, are we? Because it was
certainly
that
seems that way.
bad.
It's bad enough it got Casey to curse
I'm
on
sorry,
camera.
I cursed twice during this. And
Oh
I
my
really
God.
want to take it back.
That's okay. No, we're leaving that in.
No.
No, because we played that
Can you
clip of
bleep
you. We played that clip of you cursing, reading those stories, and people really like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't hate it as much as you two did.
Dude.
No, I
how?
don't like it, but I'm just sitting there. I'm like, I live in a world where I'm like, oh, Jeepers Creepers 4. That obviously will probably be the worst thing ever.
Yeah, okay,
So
that's fair.
I watched it. I'm
Yeah,
like,
that's fair.
it's worse than I thought it would be. But I'm like, yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be good.
It's like watching like your favorite like Batman figure get eaten by your dog, and then you have to watch it being shit out, and then your mom has to fish it out of the dog shit. Like, that's how it feels watching Jeepers Creepers be like terribly deconstructed and destroyed like
That's the
this.
most accurate review I've
Joey,
ever
I feel
heard.
like we learned a lot about you today.
Yeah,
we learned that.
the manhunt thing.
We learned that Jeepers Creepers 2 scarred you. Also made you question certain things about yourself. We learned about femboys. And then we learned that apparently your dog ate your favorite Batman toy and shit it out.
It's true. It is true.
And when we learned that Casey spent her birthday watching all 3 of these.
Yeah,
And
with cookies.
I threw my hands up in the air after this, watching it the second time.
I think I remember when you watched it, you telling me how bad it was. And
Yeah.
I'm just like,
That was like the first time we met Casey. It was all we talked about. It was the only thing we talked about. It was so bad. I'm surprised it's still on Hulu.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, how? This should be on like at least Tubi.
I'm
The
shocked.
first one's on Tubi.
Yeah.
The first 2 are on Tubi.
Yeah, I think the second one is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
how did I watch that one?
Yeah, 3, obviously not trying to rent that.
3, I said this to you the other day. Like 3, I thought was fucking awful.
Yeah.
But after watching the 4th one, the 3rd one
Yeah.
isn't so bad. Comparatively,
3,
of course.
okay, so 3, I don't know. I would have cut a lot of the grandmother shit with the hand.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yeah,
if
it
you
was
cut
kinda
that
tacked on.
subplot, and if you had a budget to pull off those action sequences,
Mm-hmm.
and it was lit better, and you didn't see the creeper, and even I feel like you could have made something out of that.
For sure.
I feel like the script, grandmother subplot aside, wasn't terrible.
It still had a budget, a feasible budget.
Yes,
The script? Are you kidding me?
for the 3rd one, I mean.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
I'm saying, like, if you minimize the grandmother stuff, you could have made a decent movie, not a
Yeah.
great one, out of that script. This movie, it's not even a Jeepers Creepers movie, to be honest.
It's
a
not.
killer.
That's gonna go off my point when you ask us.
Yeah, it's a killer in a mansion movie. And
It's like a fan movie. It's like if somebody
what I
made
was
this
gonna- yes.
for
yes,
YouTube.
this
and they
does
were a
feel
big
like a fan film.
Yeah.
Yes, a fan made.
This
Jeepers
does
Creepers
feel
movie.
like
Exactly.
a fan film.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jeepers Creepers Reborn.
Tony,
Now-
I just like I said this to you at the end of the Return of the Moonwalker
Yeah.
review. Like, I'm just fucking speechless. Man, like
I
you've
think
made
I
me
was
watch
more,
some
I
bad
think I was
movies.
more
but-
speechless at
I
Return
gotta
of the
see that one.
Moonwalker.
Dude, that was bad, but
Casey.
this gives it a run for its
Casey,
money.
zombie Michael Jackson.
Thriller.
Yes.
Yeah,
It,
but
it feels like the movie would write itself.
He
Zombie
has-
Michael Jackson.
Okay.
They overthought that there's wizards, Hitler's in it.
the spear
Oh,
that
The
killed
spear of Jesus
Yeah.
Christ is in it. The bubbles is in it. The ape. they really overthought that premise. And I'm like,
yeah,
this
Bubbles.
was a real easy movie to come up. Michael Jackson's back and he's a
Oh,
zombie.
the exploding penises too.
There's exploding
Yeah.
penis.
How have
Yeah.
we not made a feature
We're
film?
trying. We're trying. Anyway, now we've come to the end of our discussion. Longer than I thought it'd be, but we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, we did.
That was
Had a
so
lot
much
of
fun.
Casey got to show off her Jeepers Creepers collection.
Yes.
Yeah,
add
very
to it.
cool, man.
Thank you. Oh, also this.
oh.
He's
Oh,
on my
nice.
phone case.
Oh, very,
got
and not
very
many people
cool.
have not many people do this with the creeper on it.
That is cool.
That's why this is my favorite film.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I do wish people would, before we get into the final thought, I do wish people would kind of, again, it's kind of hard to separate the art from the artist when you realize what the creeper is.
Yes.
But I really wish they would separate it because it is like a fun story. It is a fun monster. That guy really likes playing it. People did say like, because you know the new Mortal Kombat's, they add in characters.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat 10 had Jason, Leatherface,
Leatherface,
Alien
yeah.
Predator. People were like, the creeper would be a fun character in those games because of all his weapons and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And
The lore just fascinates me.
Yeah.
It's like Pennywise with
we
it.
should check out the comics.
Ooh,
There
I
were
would love
comics
that.
from like what 2018 or
2018,
something.
yeah.
And they
Fucking awesome.
They are.
Wow.
Yeah, awesome.
Okay,
Yeah.
we should get some of those comics. Maybe do like a
Yes.
comic review for Patreon and see because they like really expand on the lore apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a cool character, and it would like these two are fun.
Real.
I mean,
They're
you
so
guys
much
think
fun.
they're great. I think they're
Real fun.
okay. They're
Yeah.
fun though.
Like I wish they would do that at the Mahoning Drive-In or something.
That would be
I would
fun.
really love to see them on the big screen.
That would be fun. Again, separate but the asshole guy.
Yeah.
Now. Before we get to the obvious, you guys were debating it throughout the film. What did you think was the best one? Because you guys were kind of changing your mind over what the best one was. Have you decided which one's the best?
Yeah, I think it's the second one for sure.
You think that's the
yeah,
best? How
I'm
about-
gonna go with the second
How
one.
about you?
Well,
Now
my
that you've
favorite
watched them.
is the first one.
Yeah.
I love the first one so much, but the scope of the second one, like they really went all out, and that was so
Yeah.
much fun.
It's a
watching that.
really solid like sequel, which is
Yes.
pretty rare in horror.
Yeah.
And they really stepped it up, and I don't think they went over the line.
Mm.
And I think that's why the film is so effective.
Yeah.
And that's why I like it
Yeah,
so
they
much.
didn't add any other than him building his head back, which was cool.
Yeah, which
So
is
They didn't do
real
anything
cool.
like really crazy. They weren't like, oh, by the way, he's an alien.
Well, even that.
now he's got a tail.
Yeah,
and
that's a
breathes
good point.
fire.
Yeah,
Like they could have
good
made it
point.
really bad.
If they would have like the cast from the first and second one do something, like
Yeah.
a big event at a convention, I would be first in line.
Yeah,
Like
that would be
I want to
so
meet
cool.
everybody.
I do still think it's the first one is the best. 2 is fun though.
Yeah,
the
it
first
is.
one, the script is
Solid.
is solid.
Solid.
It's so tight,
Yeah.
so much meat in it. No pun
Again,
intended.
some people get mad at the wing stuff, but I do.
Well, and
No,
the
it doesn't
plagiarizing of the unsolved
The
mysteries.
Unsolved
thing.
Mysteries.
Which they did again
Yeah,
in 4. I
yeah,
guess.
they did. Yeah, we forgot to mention that they plagiarized
Yeah.
the plagiarized thing. But yeah, the script is super tight, and
Yeah.
it's the back of the box. I think said it was like action packed for 90
Yeah.
minutes or whatever. Or
it's
whatever
more
it said.
action packed than you end up thinking.
Yeah,
it
it's
turns
like
out.
fun.
that's what I was thinking about. Like we saw The Nun 2.
Yeah.
And that's like a 2-hour movie, and I thought it took so long to get
Mm-hmm.
to any point of the movie, and then but I loved it. But Jeepers Creepers, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
hour and
Back
30
to
minutes,
back.
so much like oh my gosh.
Actually,
everything in
Jeepers
there.
Creepers 2 reminds me of Maniac Cop 2.
Oh,
Have you seen the Maniac Cop movies?
I haven't.
Where the
I know,
first
I
one
need
is like
to
a
see
fun
them.
slasher film,
Yeah,
and
that
then the
was
second
fun.
one, I think they forgot that it was supposed to be horror. They made an awesome action movie. That's kind of how Jeepers Creepers
Yeah.
too, because they're not really like the scenes aren't scary. They're just cool and action packed.
So cool.
So yes, the big question finally: what is the worst Jeepers Creepers film? Joey.
Boy, this is a tough one, Tony. I'm gonna have to go and say 4.
Casey, what do you think is the worst Jeepers Creepers movie?
Okay, I think it was you that said like it's a separate kind of movie. Like
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers 4 is just separate.
Yeah.
So out of the Jeepers Creepers movies, I really think the third one is the worst.
Okay.
And the fourth one is the worst movie ever made. Like, just as its own, it's the worst movie ever.
I agree.
Ever.
I don't know. 2 was just a little too gay for me. So I'm thinking, no. No, it's obviously Reborn. Reborn is such a joke of a movie.
I just want to meet one person who genuinely enjoyed it. and just pick their brain.
Do you wish you would have seen this in the theater with someone?
No, actually, you know
What
what?
if there's one guy that's like, they finally got it right. They finally did it.
I bet you that theater experience was fun as hell. Because
Yeah.
everybody knows it was bad. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe in 20 years, this ends up being like the next Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yeah.
And people are doing things like while they're watching the movie.
No,
I don't know.
No one's going to watch this movie tomorrow.
No, I wanted to stop
We were probably
it.
the only 3 that watched it this year.
We saw it twice.
You guys watched it twice. I have to watch it again to edit this review.
I was telling you that, or I tell both of you, this was it was even worse the second time around.
Yeah.
It was bad.
You know what was
so
really
bad.
annoying? The main girl was kind of cute. At one point, I thought she was naked, but she was actually just wearing flesh-colored underwear, which I thought was bizarre.
Oh, that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
a leotard.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
was even a stylistic one. I'm like, why?
Yeah, I was like,
Why?
huh. I'm like, oh, I thought we were going to see that chick's boobs. I guess not. Yeah,
Yeah,
let
that
me
was
down,
another
movie.
thing. This one, even though it was just like them kissing a little
Yeah.
bit, like not even, this was, of course, they were going to make this one a sexual one.
Yeah.
And the other ones were pretty tasteful. I would,
Yeah, I would
still no
agree.
pun intended.
I mean,
Yeah.
the creeper, the close up on the creeper's vagina nose and his tongue wiggling.
I
That
didn't
was
even think about the nose.
the
That
no,
creeps
Casey.
me
The
out.
nose is a vagina. And like, there's no. I don't know what he eats for that. I guess it's clear, but that's why.
Oh,
Maybe that's
stop
why we
it.
don't see him kill the women. They're like, oh, we can't show him eating that.
Ew,
it's
stop. We want this to end on a good note.
Jeepers Creepers Reborn is the worst.
It's the worst.
Worst.
It's
but
gotta be
I
the
hope you
worst
watch,
movie
even
ever
though
made.
this answer was very obvious, I hope you watch the episode all the way through.
But I do want to say that Trisha is a great final girl.
Yes.
I will put her as that.
Yes.
And you could train to be a final girl.
Yes. But this is part of our Halloween episodes.
Yes!
So there you go.
And we have Fit for the Final Girl shirts now on deathcomeslifting.com. I got to get you one. I think
Oh,
you would
yeah,
like
I
them.
would love one. Yeah.
Ooh. So get those Halloween season. What a busy October we've
I
had.
can't wait to see.
We had Worst Halloween 3. That episode came out.
Oh, is this the last one?
No.
Okay, I'm just curious.
We had Freddy versus Jason. I think I squeezed in some live episodes, and I think we're ending this October off on Sleepy Hollow. So it's a good one. I thought that'd be a fun Halloween.
Classic.
That's one I watch every year.
It's a
It's
favorite.
a good one. It's a good one. But yes, tune in next time for that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Check out Joey C's channel. Joey C, where can we find you?
You can find me at youtube.com/officialjoeyc. I'd love to have you there.
Yes. He's always dressed appropriately.
What are they?
You know, I kicked off Boys Month with you. And you really,
You shouted me out.
yeah, you really hurt the image
I'm
of
very
Boys
mad.
Month.
Very manly.
Although
I'm
you
wrong
made me
with
look very racist in your video. Thank you for that edit, you asshole. I'll explain afterwards.
Okay.
And you can buy Casey's book, follow
Yes.
her.
At Casey the Final Girl.
Yes, and Jeepers Creepers. Where'd you get? Oh, whatever. Goodbye.
Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out our other videos and Patreon page.